and away we go. And that's on its way. So welcome everybody on YouTube. We are here and live. Now let's go ahead and get into this. So live show. Let's bring in Gerry and Piscataway. Jerry, welcome back. How's it going tonight?
Dave has. It's been a frustrating night. You caught me at a very interesting time. As Jose Reyes, for some reason, didn't touch second base on a double play, and then basically almost like a receiver who was bracing to get hit by a D-back, acted like he was going to get hit by Andujar and threw the ball literally not even close to the first base bag. So not only did he miss the double play, but he didn't even get an out. And now the Yankees had the first runner in scoring position because the offense has been absolutely fucking anemic tonight. Just an absolute fucking joke out of this goddamn offense. And now we have Gleyber Torres up with two guys on and one out. So only people that are showing sack on this team right now are Andujar and Torres. The only two fucking kids doing something. Gary Sanchez has his head up his ass. He did Gregorius hits another lazy fucking pop fly to put a hole in the goddamn wall. And obviously Greg Bird, you're gonna need some time to get going, but he hits another fucking rollover or high pop fly to the right side. I'm gonna fucking scream.
Boy, we've caught this game at indeed an interesting time. Mets are up 2-0 in the eighth inning with, as Jared mentioned, 2 on. And is this the rubber game of the series? Because I think the Mets won the first game. I can't remember though.
No, the Yankees won both games.
So wait, why are you so mad? They already won the series.
The Red Sox lost today, man. With Severino on the mound against the spot starter, you got to get this win.
Well, it's a big opportunity, no doubt. Oh, there's your pop-up.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Well,
God damn it! One time, get a big fucking hit.
Well, it's still
all night with this shit. All night. You know what, Dave? And it's not only tonight. It's been for about a week now. The Yankees have not hit any starting pitching. None. They got shut out for 13 innings in Toronto. They got shut down by Mike Fiers in Detroit. They really haven't hit start even these past couple games. They haven't really hit the starting. They've gotten to some bullpens, but they haven't hit any starting pitching. And it starts with the middle of our order. I mean, Sanchez has done nothing. Bird has done nothing. Edie is still slumping. I mean, if it's not Andujar or Torres or Judge, the Yankees aren't doing anything.
Question: Who are the Yankees playing during this stretch? Now, the interesting thing is they're still winning the games. I saw that they
played a couple bad teams. They had Detroit, they had Toronto, and then they had obviously the Mets. So there are 3 teams that aren't that great, but they've been winning the games, but you'd want to. They're not scoring. They're not hitting. They're middle of their order is not doing anything. They're relying on literally their 8 and 9 hitters. Gardner's been pretty good. He flies out here with 2 on. This game's over. I mean, fuck it over. Unbelievable. It's so frustrating tonight. So frustrating.
Well, I mean, the Met bullpen is going to give the Yankees a chance in the 9th. And did Familia end up going on the DL? I thought he did.
Yeah, he's on the DL.
Yeah,
that's what I thought Gazelman would close, but I guess they wanted to use him for 2 here.
Right on. Well, I mean, it's interesting when you can win despite that kind of a struggle offensively. I mean, that definitely speaks well to the pitching staff, and so that part's cool.
And it also speaks well to the 2 kids. Yeah. I mean, Andujar hits the grand slam that basically wins the game in Toronto. Yesterday, both Judge got the go-ahead homer, but Gleyber hit the homer to put him on the board, and then Andujar hit the 2-run homer to tie the game up. And the first game in Detroit, Gleyber Torres was the guy that got him going with the homer. So a lot of it's been on the kids, and they've really been helping this team. I mean, obviously Judge has been good. Judge has hit 2 game-winning homers in the past week, so can't really get on Judge, although he did have that horrific day in Detroit. But he's been good. It's the middle of the order, man. Stanton isn't getting on base enough. Gary Sanchez is not doing anything. He's not playing good defense. He's not hitting. He's as one of the Met guys would say, a net negative right now in the Yankee lineup. He's been terrible. And Didi Gregorius is still on his slump. He hit 3 hits last night, but he's not. The guy's on. He's not getting hits that he used to get. Or he's not. He just hasn't been he hasn't been good. And when the, 3, 4, 5 guys in the order aren't really doing much, your offense is gonna, take a hit. So I mean, I would say for the past week they've been really slumping a little bit here. And again, they've been playing on the road, they haven't been at home, but still they've been playing bad teams, bad bullpens, not the best starting pitching. They should be better. They should be better.
Well, there's still a lot of season to go too. The one that surprised me out of everybody is Sanchez. I remember
me too.
Everybody saying that he was the most important of the hitters.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good that they're winning without him doing much on the field. Yeah. But definitely surprising that he's been this bad.
And I keep hearing, that it is good that the Yankees are winning, without Sanchez. And earlier in the season, I remember when he was slumping for a little bit, he was hitting the ball on the nose. He was hitting it right at people. He was hitting a lot of, shots to the third baseman. He was hitting a lot of liners to the left fielder. He was hitting the ball very hard. And I don't remember the last time Gerry Sanchez hit a ball hard. Maybe the double off the wall in Toronto earlier in the week, and that was about it. I mean, the guy really, it'd be one thing, you hear, I heard A-Rod talk about it tonight. He basically was saying, Gerry Sanchez is still the best Yankee hitter. It's fine to say that, but until he actually starts to show he's going to turn the corner, I don't want to hear it. Because, yes, he's been great the past 2 years, but he's done nothing this year, and he's shown nothing in the past month almost that shows that he's going to turn the corner. At least earlier in the season, he was hitting the ball hard. I thought he was having bad luck, and then he went on the stretch where he hit close to 300, hit a bunch of homers, and it looked like, he was back. And now he's for another, couple weeks, and he hasn't done anything. And I'm very surprised. I thought he was going to be, I said, don't be surprised if he didn't have the best year out of Sanchez and Judge, Stan and Judge this year. But, it doesn't seem to be happening. And games like this are just frustrating for me because I see the Sox lose. You see a spot starter on the mound for the Mets, and you got Severino, who wasn't super sharp tonight. I thought he had Frazier struck out on the 1-2 pitch before he gave up the homer, though. But this umpire hasn't had a great night either. But yeah, it's frustrating. Just frustrating night.
Yeah,
they have won, I think, 14 of the past 15 series, so you can't really get too crazy. But the way the offense is trending, it's obviously that could change in a week. But right now, they haven't been great.
Well, and I think you wouldn't worry too much for the next week or so because, to give you an example, they're going to play Washington, and the Nationals have been really, really struggling lately. I think they lost to the Giants.
I saw San Francisco just took 2 out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. And Strasburg had to go to the DL, and so even if he was scheduled, even if you guys aren't scheduled to play either him or Scherzer in that series, but even if he was scheduled, he couldn't play anyway because he was hurt. So they were. You might catch them at a good time because the Nationals have started to turn it around a little bit on offense, especially Harper. Harper's looked a lot better. But, losing the Giants 2 out of 3 is at home. That's not a good series.
No, and that's gonna if the Giants are gonna start to play better, that's not that he was going anywhere anyway. But the Mad Bum stuff needs to stop. The Giants are not going to trade him. They bought in to contend this year. They're right there without him. Now that he's back, he's going to give them a boost. I'm tired of hearing about the Mad Bum stuff. So, we got to play doubleheader against them, and we all know how doubleheaders are tough to sweep. So, that's why I was hoping to win tonight. Figure on Tuesday, you might get one, and you could really, you win tonight. You could look at the loss column and have a 4-game lead in the loss column, going into an off day, and that would have been nice. But the Red Sox aren't playing great either. They miss Mookie Betts tremendously. They just lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox at home. I looked at their lineup, the past week. After JD Martinez, it was crap. They had Christian Vasquez DHing on Saturday. They need their guys back. They need to get healthy. If they have to play Jackie Bradley Jr. every day, they're in trouble. That guy's Jose Reyes-esque with better defense, obviously. Reyes can't hit, neither can Jackie Bradley. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Chris Sale game had to be the most frustrating for the Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
they lost 1-0. Yeah. He gets no
I think
run
they left
support.
The bases loaded a couple times too.
Yikes!
And Sale looked good. He was hitting 100, and then I don't remember the last time I saw Chris Sale hit 100.
Yeah, that's a tough series. losing to a terrible team like that, it's just. I mean, the only way the White Sox win, I've seen. I mean, when the White Sox win, it's usually because the other team can't score either. If it's a high-scoring game, usually they can't keep up. And I will say
they got good starting pitching this weekend.
Yeah?
I mean, the kids threw a shutout on Friday. Obviously, they lost on Saturday. And today they only gave up 2 runs. And their bullpen was really, really good this weekend. So, yeah, it was surprising. It was a nice surprise, but it was surprising. Now, I think, the Red Sox go and play the quadruple A Orioles after this, but then they actually play a good team in the Mariners after that series. So it'll be nice to see the Red Sox play some decent competition for once this season.
Yeah, the Orioles. I don't want to get to the Orioles just yet because I want to ask your opinion about Davidson because I know you were big on him and you recommended him for the fantasy team, and he's been pretty solid. But the one thing that has been really, really, really bad is his strikeouts. He had 4 strikeouts today.
Yeah.
How do you get 4 strikeouts in the game?
That's crazy. I know. If his K rate's getting up there, man.
Really
not
bad.
Good. Not good. I agree with you.
Yeah. But he does give it back. I mean, he does have some good and there's a catch by is that the final out? Yeah. So that's it for the Yankees for the Mets in the
bottom of the 9th, the Yankees have had one hit, 2 hits tonight. They had 1 runner in scoring position all night. And just absolutely shut down by the Mets pitching tonight. So very frustrating. I mean, obviously you can't win every game, but you look on paper, Severino against Seth Lugo in a game before an off day, against a team that's really, really scuffling. I mean, hey, Yankee pitching has been fine. If you would have told me tonight, hey, the Yankees only giving up 2 runs, I'd say, we're winning the game. The offense again, and I've been screaming about it for a week. They've been really, really getting on my last fucking nerve. They need to get it going again. They're not going to. These kids, obviously, not that they're going to hit a wall, but they're kids. They're going to hit a mini slump, and when that happens, what the fuck are the Yankees going to do? If you're only going to hit for the 1-2 slot in your order, what are you going to do? So hopefully the guys who are getting paid, not even paid the big money, but the big names like Sanchez and Didi, got to get it going again, man. Especially Sanchez. That's one of the guys that could have been, in my eyes, was going to be a 40 homer guy today. He's on pace for 30.
Yeah.
But he goes another 2 weeks without a homer and be on pace for 25. I mean, the guy's got to get it going. I mean, the last time he hit a home run, I believe, was May 29th, maybe. He's been awful. He's been fucking awful.
Do you think it's just
and that's my guy.
Yeah, he's been your guy for a while. I wonder what could be causing.
It's funny. You know what? It's funny. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but you look at the date when he started slumping, it really coincides when Robinson Cano got busted for steroids. And I was talking about it with a buddy of mine, and we were like, "Do you think he was juicing and scared him off from doing it, or what?" Because he was in a hot tear. I mean, he got his homer total up to 12. I think he was hitting 288 during the stretch. His base percentage was like 3, something during that stretch. It was almost close to 400. And all of a sudden, he just fell off a cliff. And it's funny. We're like, everything coincided. Cano got busted for steroids. He went to the tank. So it's funny to think that if he was doing something, who knows? Who knows?
That's interesting.
Like I said, I'm not big into conspiracy theories. It might be a coincidence, but I mean, it's crazy, man.
I'm just
trying to figure out how this guy has been so good. How the hell could he go in a tank like this? All right, it's Swarzak. All right,
yeah, Anthony Swarzak will pitch for the top of the 9th.
I don't know why.
At Citi Field.
I don't know why I'm on a delay with you. Your TV's ahead of mine.
Oh, my TV's ahead of yours? Okay.
I'm literally
my TV tends to be ahead of everybody because I'm on cable. Are you using DirecTV?
Okay. No, I'm using cable, Verizon or whatever the fuck I have.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how I end up being ahead of everybody. I will remember that, and I'll try not to jump too far ahead of everything.
Stan hitting 245.
Yeah, Stan will lead it off in the 9th.
245, tremendous.
To get somebody on base. Well, that's gone up.
Let me tell you another thing with the Yankees. All they do is strike out looking. I mean, if this team, I mean, I get it. They want to work the count. They fucking do is strike out looking. I mean, Hicks strikes out looking 3 times today. Birds, all they do is strike out looking. I swear to God.
Well, strikeouts are a problem for a lot of teams, but
I get there. Yeah,
striking out looking is a little different. Though.
MO is.
Oh, at least the Dodgers strike out swinging. Saw a lot of that thing.
I mean, with Judge strikes out looking so much, and I think what happens is, and I was thinking about it the other day, is he goes to 3-2 a lot, and granted, I know he's trying to get on base, but I'd love to see him be a little bit more aggressive. They're going to throw him, on a 1-0 pitch, they're going to throw him a strike, tack it. And he counts tremendously. He sees 3-2 all the time, but when he's in a little bit of a slump, hey, go attack, go up there attacking, man. Try to hit the ball at the damn ballpark.
Remember, Fiddle got in a huge argument with the board over that because we were talking about how guys need to be more aggressive and guys who just take walks and get, we were killing those guys. And and he defended it. He's like, well, look, if you get on base, you get on base.
I mean, I don't mind the walks. I don't. I mean, I love the way that these guys.
I have to agree that if you have more walks and you have hits, it does kind of speak to how passive you are as a.
Swing the fucking bat every goddamn inning. Swing the bat.
And we just saw an example of it right now. So standing out on strikes.
I'm telling you, Hicks has done it 3 times tonight. He's done it 2 or 3 times tonight. Swing the bat. The ball's close. Swing the goddamn bat.
This is
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just the pressure of not wanting to make a mistake, but I mean, if you're going to strike out anyway, you
gotta. I mean, the ball, it might have been a little bit outside, but, anything close, you got to protect. I mean, like I said, this team strikes out looking.
Oh, 2 strikes, you got to protect.
Fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time they strike out looking.
Man.
I don't have my computer in front of me. I'd love to look up to see which team has been caught looking the most. But, I mean, I would be surprised if the Yankees weren't up there. They get caught looking. Just in this game alone, I think Stan has 2 or 3 and Hicks has 3. So that's 5 or 6 right there.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we don't have Fitz with us yet at the moment. I'll try to look that up, but we'll finish out this game first. Greg Bird at the plate. Greg Bird's been doing okay. I mean, he's going to be rusty.
It's tough. I'm giving him a little bit of a pass. He missed a lot of spring training. And then obviously, he got himself ready, had a couple rehab games. And I don't want to say they rushed him up here, but I mean, he was healthy and he was ready to go. And he's kind of, getting his legs under him on the fly here. I mean, I think he's going to take a little bit of time to get going. And kind of like Neil Walker did, when he went through that month because he missed all spring training. All of a sudden he started hitting the ball really well, playing well. And I think it's going to happen with Bird too. I think eventually he's going to get it going. And, but the thing that I said the other night is, I think until he gets there, I don't think you could hit him 3. I really don't. I don't think that, that's the best place for him right now to kind of find his footing.
Why are they hitting him third already?
I like him a lot, obviously.
Yeah. Well, you got on base.
Well, let's see if this motherfucker can do something. Come on.
We got to walk for it. So Greg Bird walks. And like you said, you're not that much of a delay, Cap. It's probably at most like 3 or 4 seconds. Like it's
that. When you said that before Gleber hit the pop fly, I mean, the pitch was being delivered, then you said pop fly. So I'm maybe a 2 second delay.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 seconds. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sanchez is at the plate, and
look at that. He's hitting 191.
Ooh, that's rough.
191,
man.
And this isn't a guy that's playing every day at 191. This isn't like a guy that's playing like Romine 2 or 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Or once a week, he's playing every day. He's 191, and he's a damn good baseball player too, man.
A lot of guys are off to slow starts, and this is a guy that. And this is not the kind of guy I would think would get off to a slow start like this because I regarded him last year as the most consistent hitter on the team. So, yeah, this is a real surprise.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And he hits with such conviction. He used to hit the ball so hard. And, like I said, I haven't seen him hit the ball hard in weeks. I mean, he hit the ball the other way off the wall the other night. I said, okay, maybe he's turning the corner.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he's gotten a hit since. And this is another guy. If I have to see – I want to go and find where all these media outlets and all these news guys are writing all these articles and how Didi was better than Jeter and all these radio guys, how Didi's better than Jeter. Go get a fucking clue. I mean, give me a break. I mean, I love Didi, but you can't put the two in the same sentence after, 2 months of the baseball. You can't do it.
Well, especially since he didn't even make the top 10 shortstop thing in the offseason.
Oh, he's not that right now either. I mean, coming into the season, he was. Last year, I think he was.
Yeah.
I believe, obviously when he was hot, he was. Now he's been one of the worst, man. He's been really struggling. I mean, his average, Dave, he was hitting like 375, 350, 400 base percentage. He's hitting like 230 now.
Yeah,
he's been awful.
Yeah, his average usually isn't really that stupendous compared to his on base percentage. So it's kind of
that on base percentage took a colossal drop.
Yeah. Well, let's see if the Sanchez can work a walk here. The count is 2-0.
He's got a 2-0 count. If you're going to get a hitter's pitch, I like to see something he could drive, and hopefully he can do something here. You got to be fucking kidding me! You got to be fucking kidding me! God fucking damn it!
That escalated quickly. So Sanchez hits the third base. He catches it in the fly.
Sanchez has made since Toronto.
Yeah,
that's the best contact he's made since Toronto.
A line-out double play ends the game,
and that's what he was doing. When I said, okay, maybe he's going to turn the corner, he was doing shit like that. And now he hasn't been doing that. He's been hitting little weak ground, and everything has been to the third base side. When he's good, he's able to hit the ball the other way. He's able to hit the ball up the middle. He's able to do that stuff. And everything lately has been to the third base side. That is he hit the ball hard, hit it right at somebody. What can you do? But overall, that is an absolute fucking pathetic joke by the Yankee offense. He yet again gets shut down by another fucking starting pitcher. Absolute joke.
But Lugo sometimes comes out of the pen too,
right? What a joke.
Well, that was a bad. Look, 0 hits. 0 runs, and how many hits was it?
That was 2 hits all night, right?
2 hits. Yeah, not the kind of.
Bird
offense.
had a hit. Bird had a hit. No, man, maybe
3 hits. 3 hits. Yeah, I see 3 hits on the board.
Andujar had 2 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Andujar's him and Torres are the only one that know how to fucking play baseball.
It was a bad night for the Yankees. But it happened. But I do think that the rest of the week should be fine for them. So look, let me break this down. Let me run this down. So the Mets salvage 1 in the series. The Yankees win the series 2-1. And in the final for the game is Mets 2, Yankees 0. And that is that for Sunday Night Baseball. So for the Yankees coming up, they've got the Nationals. I mentioned that already. 2 games for the Nationals, 3 with the Rays, and the Nationals again at Yankee Stadium on Monday. That looks like a makeup game. And then the Mariners, who are starting to play pretty well. At one point, they were at the top of the division, like a week ago. So mostly winnable games, though, I have to say, for the Yankees in the next few days. The Mets season's pretty much over already. I'm sure Fiddle will agree with us if he were to come on with us. But
Cabrera got hurt too today.
Oh man, I don't think he's that good, but that's still an already bad offense.
The lineup they're running out there now. That was one of the better guys in their lineup, I think.
Yeah.
He slipped out of the box. I think it was the first inning. And I think it was someone with his hamstring, so they pulled him out.
It's interesting. I'll throw in a couple other NL East updates. The Braves wound up losing the series with the Dodgers. The rubber game was today. I was at the game. I went to the game. Good game. Well, for me, Dodgers won 6-2. What was it? 2? I think it was 6-2. No. They won by more than that. They won like 7-3 or something. No, 7-2. That's right. That was it. Yeah, they only had 2 solo home runs, the Braves today. So Braves had a so-so road trip. I guess it wasn't a good road trip because they lost the series of the Padres and they lost the series of the Dodgers, but they were in most of the games. So I honestly thought that the young team, I still don't think their pitching is really that great. Newcomb is actually the best pitcher they have. He pitched a little bit off, but he was fine for a couple innings. It's just that he had the bases loaded in one of the innings, and then back-to-back Dodgers struck out, but still didn't have enough. I mean, he just kept getting these high pitch counts in the at bats, and so he was taken out of the game fairly early. I don't even think he got to the fifth inning, and then from that point on, the bullpen came in. Dodgers took advantage of that, and then they won. So they won. That was a very important series win, and the Dodgers are doing with like almost no starters. I mean, the only guy that's really a regular starter on the rotation right now is Wood, and he didn't even pitch in that well. But anyway, that's the NL East. The Phillies had an interesting series. Let me go double check and see what happened though, because they got their butt kicked yesterday by Milwaukee, but they won today.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, their bullpen is so bad. Their bullpen stinks.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
They lost 2 games.
And the crazy thing is, their starters are pretty good.
Yeah.
I a guy like No Velasquez, earlier in the year, he was getting hit around a little bit. And then I look up the other day and I see that, they had, when I watch Boomer and Geo, they have stats on the side of the screen. And he was like up there in one of the categories. And I just went to check. I said, what is this guy? And his ERA is like, mid threes. He's not that bad. And obviously Nola's great and Arrieta's good. So starting pitching is good. I mean, their bullpen's a mess though.
Yeah. But it's because of the starting pitching that I think that the Phillies have much more playoff potential than Atlanta. I mean, I personally think that the Braves are going to be a fun team to watch. I mean, definitely a lot going on. And Freeman is having a wonderful year over there in Atlanta.
Yeah, he is.
Now, did I hear that he hasn't been selected to the All-Star game? I thought he was selected a while ago, back in 2013.
I don't know.
I think I'm thinking of someone else, because I'm pretty sure. I remember there was a whole debate about whether you select Freeman or Puig, and then Freeman got the vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mad at the time, but at the same
time. Oh, he was one of those fan votes?
Yeah, the fan vote.
Yeah, he might have been right. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, no, he did get in, but in retrospect, I think it was the right call, because Freeman truly has been a pretty good player, definitely worthy of All-Star consideration every year, but particularly this year, he's really having a nice year. It's a good lineup. But again, I don't think their pitching is going to keep up. I do think Newcomb is pretty good. Tehran is an absolute joke. I mean, he's on the DL, but he's trash. He's useless. Unless
he faces the Mets, he's awful.
Right, exactly.
Seriously, man, he's like the Met killer, dude. I mean, incredible. And no matter how bad he's going, he'll face the Mets. He'll look up and he'll be throwing 8 shutout innings.
Well, it's got to beat somebody, right? He can't lose that.
Yeah, I guess. He's been like that for like his whole career, though.
Really?
He's always giving the Mets fits.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. As Fitz will tell you.
That's funny. Yeah, well, he comes on tonight for a few minutes. We could talk about that. You're probably, I'm sure you're right about that.
I got to tell you, Dave, this was one of the worst. I mean, this broadcast was atrocious tonight. I mean, the graphics in the middle of the game, it's crazy. They have an hour-long pregame, right? But they find the need to sneak interviews in during the game in the middle of pitches and in the middle of plays. Why don't they just do that during the pregame? I don't need to see, a Gleyber Torres at bat in the corner of my screen while you're talking to Todd Frazier about God knows what, in the majority of the screen. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's terrible. Well, the ESPN broadcast is an absolute joke. It's all show, it's all production, and it's no substance. It is so bad. Yeah. And then you have and the team, A-Rod obviously beating 2 New York teams. He's pretty locked in, but the others, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because Jessica Mendoza, she described Jose Reyes today as locked in. Dave, he's hitting 150. Locked in.
Maybe she's just talking about tonight, though. I mean, I don't think she's that bad, but that's obviously a regrettable comment, I'm sure.
And, well, then who is the Vasgersian that does the play-by-play, right?
Right.
So Jay Bruce hits the ball to the warning track that Hicks, races over and catches at the warning track, I mind you. And he says Aaron Hicks denies Jay Bruce of his first home run. What? The ball wasn't even close to the wall. Like if Aaron Hicks like stepped away, the ball would have bounced on the track and went over for a ground rule double. I mean, instead of denied him his first home run, I thought I was hearing things. And then literally, Dave,
that's pretty bad.
It was the Todd Frazier broadcast with a baseball game on the side. For literally Frazier. 7 innings, all they talked about was Todd Frazier.
That's interesting because they were
a great guy, but
yeah. But I think that's what it is. Like they really like the personality behind the scenes.
He's a good person. Yeah, he's a good guy.
And Fox did the same thing yesterday. They were really talking up Todd Frazier. I remember how he had all those kids and on yesterday's telecast. And
yep,
that's very interesting.
They did it again today. They had another cutting interview with him.
Yeah,
they talked about him every chance that they got. I mean, it was like enough's enough already. I mean, it was like when I was when it was the Cubs World Series and you got studs like Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo, and all they wanted to talk about was Grandpa Ross. The guy fucking sucks, and he was all they talked about. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, that's right, David Ross. Oh, everybody rooting for David Ross. That's all they would tell us.
Good for him.
Yeah, they just.
But that's all they talked about. I'm like, you have the NL MVP here. I mean, come on.
It's interesting how the similarities between the Fox and the ESPN broadcast from that standpoint. They don't seem to have confidence in their product. They're going by.
I think they tried to engage the casual fan with bullshit, with propaganda bullshit, where people like me, you kids, people watch every day. We don't want to see that. Just show me the baseball game.
Yeah.
I don't need to see these interviews or these hokey things or.
Well, it's fine, but in moderation. I think they overdo it.
In moderation.
I think that's the key. Now, I was hoping they would dial back on it, but it doesn't sound like they did. That's really too bad.
I don't know, man. Tonight was. I don't know. I was sitting on the line. I don't know how many men the Mets have. They got a fedora man. They got a cowbell man. They got a pin man. They're showing all these Met fans. With their name. Last pitch, how many Mets fans, do they have? It's crazy. And ESPN's harping on them. And then ESPN's doing something on Todd Frazier. And then ESPN's doing something on them. It's show me the baseball game. If you want to have an interview, do it before the game. I don't need to see a 3-minute interview in the middle of the baseball game. Do it before the game. That's what the pregame's for. Do it before the game.
No, fair points. And it was a good game. It's not like it was a blowout. If it was, I know they're going to do no matter what.
It was a close game all night.
Yeah,
it was a close game, and they're doing graphics, and the graphic goes away, and all of a sudden you see Sevy walking off the mound. He struck out the guy, but you didn't see the strikeout because they wanted to be cute with graphics. And that kind of stuff, as a baseball fan and somebody who watches every night, that kind of stuff drives me absolutely batshit.
Right.
So that's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Going back to NL East for a sec,
You could tell I'm in a great mood tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I still think they're going to be all right, though.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I still think that we're going to win the division. I think we'll be fine.
I don't think the division
game like
is
this
a question.
Is frustrating.
Well, maybe the division is in a little bit of question right now.
Yeah, division will be a race. But, I have confidence that we'll win it. But it's a frustrating game, man. Especially the way that the offense has been trending the past, week. It's just frustrating. They'll be shut down for 7 innings, 8 innings, 7 to 6 innings, and they'll get to a bullpen guy. But can't do that. I came back and bit him in the ass tonight. They had 1 runner in scoring position tonight. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's a spot starter and a team that just lost 8 games in a row. Got to be better than that, man. And the Red Sox lost in the beginning of the day. You had an opportunity to really pick up, more ground on them before, they're going to sweep Baltimore. And now, granted, Washington hasn't been playing great, but Washington's a better team than Baltimore, and we're playing on the road. And, it's not going to be the easiest task, especially playing a doubleheader. This was a game that I thought the Yankees should have had. The Mets were really scuffling. I looked at their lineup today, and I was like, Severino's going to go 8, 9 innings, and he went 5. They just were not good tonight. They were not good.
Yeah.
They were not good.
Well, and every team's going to have a bad night like that. So it just so happened tonight. The good thing is that Severino still pitched pretty solidly. 2 runs.
Yeah. Even when he's a little off, Dave, he still keeps the team in the game to give him a chance to win the game. He's not, at least this year, he hasn't been that guy that'll go, 3 innings, 4 innings, and give up 5, 6 runs, and team has no shot. He didn't have it today, but he only limited. It was only one bad pitch. It was a slider that he pitched, and him and Sanchez really weren't on the same page tonight. And like I said, it was a 1-2 pitch. First of all, he let Reyes single on an 0-2 pitch, and then he let Frazier homer on a 1-2 pitch. With again, the pitch before, I thought he rung him up, but it is what it is. He only gave up 5 hits tonight. He had 7 strikeouts. He wasn't bad.
Yeah. Let me ask you this about the Mets. A lot of rumblings about how they should sell. Much of the mainstream media is all on board on it. But I was actually, where are you with that? Do you think they should sell, or because you got some really great pitchers? It's not like you're going to get them again. Like, it's not easy to just go get Syndergaard,
I agree,
and Matz and so on. So I don't know, or DeGrom, not Matz, DeGrom.
DeGrom,
yeah.
I agree with you, and the thing is, and their starters actually been pretty good. If you look at, their starters numbers, even during the losing streak, they haven't been bad. DeGrom's been awesome. Syndergaard's been good. Syndergaard has not been what, I thought he was going to be this year. I thought he'd be a Cy Young candidate. He's been good, not great. You get, Vargas has been bad, obviously. But, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me because I saw what the Yankees did when they sold. They had such a quick turnaround. But they also had some things that the Mets didn't have. They already had a guy like Gary Sanchez in place when they sold. You knew Gerry was going to be good. They had that. They had, obviously they got Gleyber Torres in the deal. They had, maybe Miguel Andor in their system already. I don't know if the Mets have those guys in their system. But I'll tell you this, if the Mets did want to sell DeGrom, I don't know if they would get a better haul than they would get from the Yankees. I really don't. But again, I mean, it's hard for me as an outsider. I mean, to tell the Mets, hey, trade off, probably right now is the guy who's probably the most beloved Met, in DeGrom. It's hard to say, you should trade him. But it depends on what, I mean, they have Bruce, which I think is a very bad contract. They have him for another couple of years. The Cespedes contract is looking really bad as well. The guy can't stay healthy. I mean, when he's on the field, yeah, he can wreck a game. He's a game changer, but he can't stay on the field, and that's a problem. Conforto, they're talking about maybe sending him to the minor leagues. That's a problem. I don't. Rosario hasn't developed yet. I mean, you figure he was going to be on. He was supposed to be on the same kind of tier as Gleyber Torres. Both of those guys were top 3 prospects. Before they got called up. Rosario hasn't been good. He's hitting, I don't even know. He's hitting behind the pitcher today, as Torres was, but he hasn't been playing good at all. I just don't know if the Mets keep everybody, even when they're fully healthy. I still don't think they're very good. And, I had said that in the beginning of the year. And again, they have Todd Frazier for another year, and I'm not the biggest Todd Frazier guy. And I don't know. I just don't know how they would be, if they kept all their pitchers, if they would still, they'd be better than they are now. If they're fully healthy, if they're able to have Frazier, Cespedes, all those guys in the lineup, they're obviously better than they are now, but I still don't think it's enough. They're an older team. They run Adrian Gonzalez out every day, which is a joke to me. It's crazy. I mean, I thought that if the Yankees were going to beat them tonight and they would have lost 9 in a row and would have been a sweep, I think what the Mets did today was they saved a lot of people. I think Jose Reyes would have been gone. I think, you might see it change with Adrian Gonzalez. Maybe the kid Peter Alonso comes up. At least if I'm a Met fan and I see, okay, we lost 9 games in a row. Cespedes has yet another setback. We don't know when he's coming back. The team doesn't look like they're trending in a positive direction. I'm going to break it down here. I want to see what my kids have in the minors. Anybody who's worth a look, bring them up. Even Dom Smith, bring them up. Bring up Peter Alonso. I want to see what they have. And I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it after tonight. I don't know. They won. I don't know if they'll cut Reyes or they'll make a change at first. But to me, they're just an older team. I just don't see. I don't see where in the next 2 years of DeGrom where they're really going to be in a position to win. Not only that, is they have 2 teams in their division now who are stocked with young talent who are only going to get better in the next 2 years. So it's tricky. And again, for me as a Yankee fan, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And, I think that I might lead towards selling because I saw what it did for my team.
Right.
And I think if you did sell DeGrom, you can get a lot. I mean, I've talked to Met fans and, they say, oh, we want Torres. We want Torres. And I'm like, well, Yankee fan, I don't think I can give up Torres. I really don't think I could do it. And I believe there's a lot of people are split. Some people want to would be open to giving him up. I've heard, I heard on a podcast, Jim Duquette said no way. One of the other guys on the podcast said they would. And it's hard because when you look at the Yankees, they're ready to win a world championship now. And if you're able to have Sevy and DeGrom for the next, 2.5 years, it gives you a good chance to win. But also you got this young kid in Torres who literally, he's on pace for 38 homers, Dave. And he's a rookie. He's 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets on base and he hits and he plays good defense. I heard a scout saying, I think it was a little extreme. They said that the only person I would trade Gleyber Torres for is Mike Trout.
Mike Trout?
That's what a scout said. The scout said the only person in baseball right now would trade Gleyber Torres for is Mike Trout. And I guess, the guy who was interviewing asked him why. And he said, because when you have a young, cross-controlled, 22-year-old kid with a ceiling that high, you don't move him. He said, you have a guy who could be a perennial all-star every year. He's under control for the next 6 years. He's a guy that's going to play for you every day. You don't move him. You don't move that type of player. And again, I thought it was a little extreme that, I'm sure there's other guys in baseball you move them for. But that just shows, that what people think his value is. And then you bring up, a guy like Andujar. Now, Miguel Andujar coming into the season was the number 14 prospect in all of baseball. If he would have spent another year in AAA, he'd have been a top 5 prospect this year. Now he's showing that he's able to do it on the big league stage. So you bring him up to Mets fans and they scoff at it. It's like, oh, we don't want him. We want Torres. If we're giving you Andujar, Frazier, Sheffield, plus that is a huge haul. Huge haul. It's a great package. And it gives you a pitcher you can build around, gives you a star position player at third base. It gives you a very good outfielder because the Mets outfield stinks. I'm sorry. It's not good. Brandon Nimmo can't hit lefties. Jay Bruce is terrible. Michael Conforto's terrible. They give you an outfielder, a guy that, right now is literally bored in the minors. He's completely raping minor league pitching. He's shown that he could play a little bit here at the big league level when he was here. I think it'd be a good deal for him. I really do. But, I'm not a GM, and if the Yankees didn't go that route, I'd be fine with it because I moving forward, you got 2 kids in Andujar and Torres who can probably both be 30-homer guys who could really swing the bat. I'm fine with keeping both of them, man.
That's a strong statement to say that Torres you wouldn't trade him for anybody but Mike Trout.
Yeah, that's not me. That's what the scout said. And like I said, I was listening to a podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys said, under no circumstance would I move him for DeGrom because he said, same type of thing. 22 years old, he's showing what he's doing now. He's only going to get better. Can you imagine having that under control for 6 years?
Yeah,
that's just what they were saying. They've been very high on Torres, obviously, since the minors, because before his Tommy John injury, he was ranked the number 1 prospect in all of baseball after Moncada got promoted. And he's shown why. The thing that surprised me the most, I think, is the power. Because they said he'd be, a 15 to 20 homer guy, but he'd be a high average, high on base guy. He does everything good. He's got 11 homers, Dave. He's gonna hit, probably over 20 homers this year.
That's interesting. A lot of guys are kind of breaking out with home runs. I'll get to the NL in just a few minutes, but we covered a lot of the divisions so far. We could update you on these divisions. We were gonna do we are gonna do like a mid-season show.
Oh, we're doing it, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I don't want to go too much into this right now. But some key notables.
Dodgers turns it around though.
Who does?
The Dodgers been turning.
Oh, they have. They are a very resilient team. I got to give Dave Roberts a lot of credit. It's some of the best managing he's done his entire career. Mm-hmm. Really good.
Bellinger's been really good.
Bellinger's picking it up. They called up a guy named Max Muncy, who has just been trying to fill in gaps, but he has 12 home runs cap. 12 home runs in like 4 weeks.
That's huge, man.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's really good. 12 home runs in 4 weeks is really good.
Yeah.
That's what Glaber's doing. That's what Glaber's doing pretty much.
Labor Day. Yeah, I remember Glaber's having a really nice start too. Yeah, you're absolutely
Same kind
right.
of thing. Yeah.
I keep getting Torres and Torres mixed up, and I don't know which one.
A lot of people are.
Which one is
Toe? A lot of Toe's the Torres.
Torres, okay.
But apparently, even MLB at bat had Torres in the lineup either yesterday or today. They keep screwing it up.
Yeah.
But Toe's back.
Okay.
Tanaka's out and Toe's back.
All right. Yeah, isn't it just something when 4/5 of the rotation is not available, Cap, on the Dodgers?
Yeah.
And they have been winning game after game.
They've been winning.
They won 5 out of 6 in that road trip. That was a miracle. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to Dave. Like, that was an incredible managing job. Amazing job by the bullpen. I mean, I just can't say enough. We finally got some innings from the starter today when Stripling went like 6.1, I think, today, which I think was really good. I mean, maybe 7.1. He had a really good start. Really good. So, man, all the credit. And the offense is picking it up, like you said. I mean, it was kind of scuffling, and then that trip to Colorado, it was a ragged trip to Colorado, but in that trip, a lot of the guys started to hit pretty well, and Grandal had 2 home runs in a game. I think that was on Friday. Was that Friday? I think it was Friday. It's been marvelous. So we'll see if they can keep going. They got the Rangers coming to town. I don't know what to do with the Rangers. I don't think they're a good team, but they have found ways to score runs. I don't know how they're doing it.
They do. I mean, I saw them firsthand against us. That was the only series we've lost in like a month and a half. I mean, was the one in Texas. They could score some runs. They got, obviously Joey Gallo can hit it out. I really do like the kid Mazzara.
Yeah, Mazzara is the guy that's the best guy on the team. Like that guy's the legit hitter.
The guy that really hurt us, I don't know what he's really done since, is the first base Guzman.
Mm-hmm.
He was tough. He was tough on us. I think he's a rookie guy. He had a good series against us. But they can score some runs.
Yeah.
Pitching's not that great, but
no, it isn't. It really isn't. And it's interesting to see like a guy like Jay. Cole Hamels is on there.
Texas.
Now he is a big candidate to get traded. And I wonder who would even want him at this point, because he's getting pretty old.
Yankees are into him.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of connections with the Yankees. Some people are just sure that they're going to get him.
Well, the problem I think here is the starting pitching market is thin. Unless Cash gets creative, figures out a way to get somebody, or if he, I think some even people from the board brought up the kid Urena, however his name from Florida,
from Miami,
Florida. Yeah, something like that. Unless Cash sees, kind of like he did with Evaldi when he saw like a live arm and thought maybe he would be able to fix him, or maybe something like that if he gets creative. But because I don't think Bumgarner's happening. DeGrom's not happening. I'm not enamored by Fulmer in the least. I used to want him. I used to think he could be the guy. Watching him this year, Dave, I want nothing to do with him. He pitches in a huge park. He's not good. He hasn't been good. And what they're going to ask for him, because he is so young, because he has so many years of team control, I don't think it's going to be worth his production. They're going to ask for, an Andrew or a Frazier. I don't think it's going to be worth his production. I think we might be going down another Sonny Gray route with him. And Corbin, why would they trade him if they're in the race to win that division? I don't see that happening. So Hamels seems like he could be the only other, and Yankees need an arm. So, I mean, I would be okay if they went Hamels. He's been pretty good against playoff teams this year. He has experience. He's a lefty, and he wouldn't cost that much, number one, and it would allow the Yankees to go and get a relief pitcher also. So
I think they should just get the relief pitcher.
Hamels,
I really think they should just forget the starter. Just get the relief pitcher.
They might. It's going to depend on how things shake out between now and the trade deadline. It's going to see how healthy they are. It's going to see, they have some guys they want to bring up from the minors. There's a guy whose name I cannot pronounce, but they call him Johnny Lasagna because his last name sounds like lasagna. And he's a guy that they're really high on that probably is going to get the starts that Tanaka's going to miss. And obviously, Sheffield, who's their top pitching prospect, was really good in his last start. 6 shutout innings and get 8 strikeouts. So that's the guy that they can look at as well. But, come the post, it's going to depend on Gray, too. I mean, Gray, his last couple road starts have been really good. I think at home he has an ERA around 7, and on the road he has an ERA around 2. So Gray's a guy where if you do get into a postseason series, you can start him on the road. You can start, CC, you can start Gray, you can start Tanaka, you can start Severino. So maybe they don't go a starter route, like you said, Dave. Maybe they just go for the relief pitching. Maybe they try to go for both relievers. Who knows? It's going to, I guess, depend on health and where they're at, because there really isn't many options out there that are real appealing right now. I mean, Archer, to me, is not appealing. And in division probably costs more than if he was out of the division. Like you said, Hamels would be okay, but is he really an upgrade? And the other guys I just don't see are happening. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
It is. There'll be definitely a lot of names talked about, but I don't think we have the same caliber. Like you said, I don't think we're seeing the same. We're not going to see Darvish or Verlander traded.
No.
Nobody them this time around.
I mean, last trade deadline, you had Gray, who was a big name at the time. You had Darvish, and you had Verlander. This year, you have none of that. I don't see anybody. I don't see any of the big names really going, to be honest with you. I don't see it.
Gotcha. Central, let's just do this quickly because, again, I'm not impressed by anybody. And I'll tell you what's really surprising. I think the Twins are the most surprising. But I look at it, their pitching it's just not good. Lance Lynn is a joke. I mean, I booed with him. Yeah. And the bullpen is
I thought
awful.
He'd be better. I thought he'd be better. I thought Alex Cobb would be better.
Yeah. Cobb has been brutal. Goodness.
Awful.
Yeah. And then you see guys like Alex Presley or whatever his name is, and some other relievers, and their relief is so bad. And I think I was talking about that in April. I was like, dude, these guys are terrible. So they're getting no help from the pitching staff. And I think that's the basic problem with Minnesota. They won the day, but
and I think Byron Buxton in the second half he was putting up MVP type numbers. I thought he took the next step.
Yeah,
he's been god awful.
Oh,
terrible.
Well, that's not good. No,
terrible. You figure, when you look at the lineup coming into the season, and if you're gonna have second half Buxton, you're gonna have Sano, you're gonna have Dozier. That's a pretty good start right there. That's a really good crop of players that you'd be bringing into this year. And, when they signed Lance Lynn, I thought, okay, he's pitching in a big park.
I thought I loved it.
I think he'd be, I thought it was a good signing for them.
Yeah. I was mad at the Dodgers.
They've just been terrible.
They've been bad.
And then Barrios, he started off the year like, all right, I was like, all right, this is the guy that he's taking that next step. Well, and, I think he's been pretty good.
I do think he's good, though. Barrios
he's been pretty good, yeah.
He's been good. Barrios has been just pitching very well.
So you figure if they were going to have him and Lynn, I thought that they would really have. I mean, they've been bad. Yeah. They've been really bad.
Yeah. What's the other thing? Oh, so then ultimately it's going to be the Indians division, but they just don't look that good either. And I think we talked about that already, so I won't waste any more time.
Lindor just broke out 0 for 20.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah.
And I know that the bullpen has been just a joke. I mean, it's very surprising that the bullpen has been so bad.
Their starters are very good.
Yeah, the starters are great. They have good starters. You're right. But the bullpen just gives it back a lot of the time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's really.
There's a lot. I mean, even there's 2 very good relievers on the market. And I think what would happen is if the Yankees were able to grab one of them, even if they have to overpay a little bit, it'll keep one from going to either Boston because they could use it. Houston, God knows they can use it, and the Indians, God knows they can use it. So not only would the Yankees be improving their team, but it would be taking a bullet away from another potential team we'll see in the playoffs. So I'm really hoping they do go that route to try and grab one of these relief pitchers.
That would be interesting. I mean, I think that a trade could definitely be the spark. We know that the Indians tend to wait around until July to really kick it into gear. But the problems are really as much about the bullpen than anything. I don't think a bullpen can kick anything into gear. An offense can. I don't know like a bullpen can. So
yeah. I mean, it's funny, Dave. The Yankees bullpen did it last year, but they had the name. These other guys don't have the name.
Right.
The Yankees had, Chapman got demoted last year. The Texas was a mess last year. When we first brought up Robertson and Canley. Canley was god awful. I mean, he was bad.
Yeah.
And the Yankees obviously they had the most blown saves in baseball last year. And then all of a sudden September hit, and they were unhittable. And then through October, I mean, I was at the game when Canley was throwing 99. He closed the game out the one day. Robertson was great. Chapman was great. Betances wasn't great, but that was, Chad Green was great. So the Yankees bullpen did turn it on, but they have the names. I don't think a lot of these teams have the names and the talent that the bullpen had. So I agree with you. It's hard to turn on a bullpen. Like an offense can get going. Bullpen is difficult when you don't have the horses. It's difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. So the West, there's so much to say about the West. I guess we can start with the leader, which is at this point a tie between the Mariners and the Astros.
Yeah.
We'll go with the Astros first. The Astros pitching, this is according to, I think it was the Astros, some telecast I was on. I think it was maybe yesterday's Mets game on Fox, or I found it somewhere. But the Astros rotation has been at like a 5 ERA in the last 2 weeks. And then I see Keuchel today gave up 5 runs in Texas. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was a bad start.
What's happening a little bit is Keuchel is having a rough year.
Yeah.
But Charlie Morton's starting to come back down to earth a little bit. I mean,
he's still throwing hard, too. That was yesterday. Yeah, you're right.
He's starting to get hit around a little bit. I mean, Cole's still been great, and obviously Verlander's Verlander, but I've seen Morton get hit around a little bit. Keuchel's just been bad. I mean, today he gave up a bunch of runs. I mean, they had a 5-0 lead. He gave it right back up.
He did. So, he was leading the whole game. Really he still blew the game. That's not good. Not good.
Yeah,
and he strikes out a lot too. Like you think that he could put away guys like that, but he really wasn't.
Yeah,
he struggles.
Yeah, he was. And with them, I think the thing with the Astros too is I was listening to some of their telecasts today. The offense really hasn't been going.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Has been hot for the past 2 weeks, but they really haven't had Correa going. They haven't had Bregman really going, and now they're starting to hit. Bregman, I think, had a good game today. So the offense really hasn't really clicked the way it was clicking last year. Springer, Bregman, Correa, Altuve. Once they all start to get it going, I think that'll give them another boost. And, as far as Seattle goes, I think, Andy kind of broke them down because he watches them more than, I think any of us do. And he said they're doing it with smoke and mirrors. They have a pretty good offense, but they're doing it with Paxton, who's great, and had another great pitching performance today. But they're doing with like an older Felix Hernandez, who is hit or miss. He said the bullpen is really getting taxed. They're really, they're using the shit out of Edwin Diaz.
They really are.
Second, their eighth inning guy just got put on the DL because I had him in fantasy, so I know he's put on the DL. So they're really taxing their bullpen. So Andy says they're doing it with smoke and mirrors, and I believe that he watches them more than I do. So I think at the end of the day, Houston is going to come out of that division. And with the news of Ohtani, man, I mean that wild card, Mariners for the taking. They can grab it and go because Angels. I don't know. They have no pitching. They have none.
They're pitching. We'll get to the Angels in a sec. But what did you think of the Colomé trade for the Mariners?
It was great. I thought it was great that they struck early, and I thought that they're able to get another quality arm in their bullpen, and I think it helps. I think it's obviously it's not a major trade, but I think it helps. I don't
really like him as a closer, but as a guy.
I don't like him as a closer either.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good before Diaz. I think I think right now he's a eighth inning guy, I believe. So we'll see how he does, but I think it was a good trade for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're going to need all the bullpen. The way that they're taxing that bullpen, they're going to need all the bullpen.
Oh yeah, there's no question. So. There's no question. Like you said, Paxton's like the only guy that can be a dependable starter, and he's great. He's really good, but he's it. It's all they got. They only got one good starter. So absolutely. Now the Angels don't have any good stuff. I mean, it was Ohtani. And I think you could make a case for Andrew Heaney, but ultimately, I don't know if they have any good starters. I mean, I think Heaney's probably as good as they have.
I mean, you keep hearing about who's their what's the guy's name? Oh, this is going to bother me. I'm distracted by Aaron Boone right now.
Or are we talking Richards?
No, Richards.
Yeah.
You always hear about how good he's supposed to be, and he really hasn't done much.
Everyone has the potential to blow up, though, in a game. And Ohtani news is devastating. I mean, that's devastating. Grade 2 UCL.
They lose their 3-hitter.
Yeah.
And they lose their ace. I mean, And you know what, Dave? Going into his signing, they knew that he had a UCL problem. I mean, I don't know if every team did, but I remember it came out that, in spring training that he had, something wrong with his UCL, and then he got a PRP shot.
Yep.
And I remember saying, is this thing real? Like, is this really happening? I think we might have even been
you were talking about it
on a podcast when it broke.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. And then, obviously, he pitched fine. And then, the other night, I got to act up again. And now he has a grade 2 sprain. Grade 2, the next grade is a tear. When it's grade 3, it's a tear.
Right.
So, I mean, if I'm the Angels and I'm an Angel fan, I'm very worried.
Yeah.
I'm very worried.
Yeah.
And this thing's going to keep popping up. I'm very worried.
Look, the good thing for the
now
Angels,
he can't even hit.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, it's a good point. You actually brought up a really good point. It's not that just losing his starts; you're losing his bat.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
a huge problem. You're getting all these scrubs like Luis Valbuena and Martin Maldonado and a bunch of guys that just don't hit.
I mean, I look at the Angels lineup, and they're, right now they're Simmons, and obviously Trout.
Right.
And, they have Upton. And if they would have had, Ohtani in that lineup, that makes the lineup so much deeper, man.
It's a very solid lineup with Ohtani, yeah. But without him, it's tough.
Very solid with Ohtani.
Yeah. And, it's funny, this is all happening with Cozart and Kinsler off to slow starts, too.
Oh, man. Kinsler, I think Kinsler's cooked, but that's just
so. Me. Yeah, I mean, he's had a bad year. I mean, he can't even
been around
200.
for a while. I just don't. I think
he's getting old.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I mean, the lineup with Ohtani in it, is dangerous. And I thought when we did our last podcast, I thought they were going to be the wild card team. I said, they're a good team. I thought they were going to be the wild card team. But now, the way the Mariners are playing and the loss of Ohtani, who knows? Who knows? And then after Cano was suspended, he thought the Mariners had no chance of winning. And now look at the Mariners. I mean, baseball's a funny game, man.
Yeah. You mentioned the bullpen was a trash too. Blake Parker has been a bit of a savior from that standpoint because when Keenan Middleton was out for the year for all intents and purposes, I mean that's a huge blow because he was a pretty good closer.
Blow. Middleton was throwing well.
He was throwing pretty well. I mean, I also saw him a few times. So, they bring up Parker, and he's managed to do a pretty good job taking over basically for the closer. They were mixing around different guys, but I think Parker has emerged as a guy at this point.
Yeah.
He's been good.
It just seems to me that the way that it's shaped right now, there's not many. Like last year, I felt like there was, they had I don't know, there's not many teams. Right now, I think it's the Yankees, Red Sox, and the Astros in the AL were really the teams that looked like the favorites. And last year, the Yankees didn't even look like favorites. You had the Indians, who they thought was going to be a World Series team. The Yankees are probably the number 14 down on the list coming into the playoffs in a lot of people's eyes. I mean, not mine, because I knew we had a bullpen.
Yeah.
And I knew we had, an ace.
Oh, this is last year?
Really get you far.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. Figure, the Astros I thought were the favorite, and obviously they won. And then the Red Sox were the team that won the division. And then you had the Indians, who were, a team that was in the World Series the year before. They won 20 games in a row that year. They had a good bullpen. They had, Kluber. The Indians were really the team that people thought would contend for a World Series as well. This year, I don't see, outside of the three teams, many of the other teams that really could stack up. I mean, as far as right now goes, I think that, once the playoffs start, the Indians could get hot because they do have Kluber, they do have Bauer, they do have Carrasco. They got to get into Miller right. The Indians could still be a scary team, though. But I mean,
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because of the offense, though. But the pitching is really good, though. I agree with you. The starters,
pitching's good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But as far as the Angels and the Mariners go, I mean,
you would take the Mariners over them?
I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I don't think so. I think I might still lean towards the Angels.
Interesting.
Just because of Mike Trout.
Yeah, it's a good argument. That's a good argument. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The Mariners have the better bullpen.
Mariners have the better rotation at this point.
The Mariners have the better rotation.
I mean, they only have one starter.
The,
but
the Angels have the better offense. I don't know. Actually, right now, I'm gonna go. I might lean towards the Mariners. You know, they do have the better bullpen. They have the better rotation, even though they only have one competent start.
Yeah. It's really different without Ohtani. Like if Ohtani was in there, I think the Angels are the better team.
Very different.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Ohtani fills 2 holes. Ohtani fills an ace hole, and Ohtani fills a 3-hitter hole.
Yeah.
So I mean, losing both of those really hurts. And you know, with me, I think I know moving forward and bullpen's very big for me. And I know the Angels don't have a great bullpen, and the Mariners do have a good bullpen. Now, if they're able to sustain that the way that they're being used, we'll see. But, the Mariners' offense isn't terrible either. I mean, they got some, even without Cano, they got Cruz, they got D. Gordon, they got Seager, Haniger, or however you say it. They're not bad.
Segura?
Segura, yep. Segura.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It's not bad. It's
right now,
pretty
the
solid.
Mariners in my eyes, the Mariners probably would have the leg up of the Angels right now after the Ohtani loss. And Dave, I don't know if we're going to see him again this year, man.
We're going to see Ohtani? Yeah.
I don't know.
That sounds pretty. UCL is serious. Like, because I think when I don't know what Angel pitcher, it may have been Middleton, because the guys in the Angels telecast were like. They said
it was
they put him on the 10-day deal, and then the guys on the telecast were like, "He ain't gonna be there for 10 days." They were pretty sure he was gone for the year.
Yeah.
So
I think it was Middleton. I mean, anytime you're messing with that, it's getting. Same thing with Jordan Montgomery. I mean, he came out. He had a UCL sprain. They literally tried to rehab him for a couple weeks, and then they said you can't do it. They gave him Tommy John. So I think that is the direction. I mean, this is the second time he's had a PRP injection. Since opening day, and now it was a grade 1, now it's a grade 2, and the way that he pitches, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can get around that, or if he comes back, maybe he'll come back, go back on the DL. And that was my fear with Tanaka, and early on it did happen with Tanaka, where he came up and then ended up putting on the DL again, and he had a couple of DL stints because of the elbow, and thank God he's been able to pitch through it, which is. To me, very surprising. I mean, this happened, I believe, in 2014. He's been pitching 4 years.
Long time. Wow.
With a partial tear in his UCL. And he still throws a splitter constantly. So it's.
Well, I guess that is interesting. Were you talking about Tanaka just to make sure?
Yeah. Yep, Tanaka.
They never got the surgery. That's interesting.
No, and I'm shocked because there is.
And he's still productive, and I agree with you. He is. Yeah. That's pretty.
And he throws a splitter constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. The thing about Tanaka, and I don't know how much that injury changed his approach to the way he's pitched, but if you remember when he first came up, Dave, he was throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, and he was able to really, sometimes he still hits upper 90s, but I mean, he was so good. I went to the doubleheader. He pitched game 1 and Pineda pitched game 2, and I remember he was hitting 98, he was hitting 97. And he threw masterful game. He was able to throw that fastball with his splitter. It was unhittable. And then once he got hurt, I think he was, he kind of changed his approach a little bit. Now, sometimes you'll see him hitting, 95, 96, but he's usually around 93, 94 with his splitter, which is more than doable. But, before his injury, he was really able to crank it up. And I don't know, usually I didn't think that it would really affect his fastball. I thought it would more affect his splitter. But he's still throwing the splitter, so who the hell knows?
Yeah. So let's switch gears to the NL for a bit. Are you buying the Brewers? 39-26. The Brewers.
Yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team. From what I've seen of them, I mean, Hader is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the best relief pitchers in baseball. I think I'm starting to buy into him, Dave.
They do look good. And
what about you?
I liked them anyway. I liked them preseason. I don't remember if I liked them enough to actually make the postseason, but I do remember thinking they'd take the over. Like for 83 or something. But I mean, I think the bullpen is definitely helpful. You mentioned Hader. Knebel is
great, man.
But it's really all about Hader because that's the guy that everyone talks about. Yeah.
He is incredible.
Yeah, it's a solid team. I know that Fids did not believe in Arcia, and
no,
but
he didn't believe in them as a whole.
He didn't believe in the team at all. Like, he had no confidence in that team. But here we are, and so far we're about not quite halfway through the year, but pretty close. I mean, there'll be a little bit of fading because I think the rotation's still not that great. Oh yeah, he didn't like Domingo Santana either, but I'll go look up his numbers.
I think that's where their flaws. But again, Dave, if you're able to build a good bullpen,
yeah.
I mean, they'll probably be in on one of these relievers. They're able to build a good bullpen. You need 5-6 innings out of your starters, if that, and then you could go from there. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I think I think they'll be here to play for a while. The Cubs are fine. I think the Cubs will still win the division, even though.
So what do you think? Now, I read something interesting today from one of the guys that covers baseball, and he's talking about the Cubs, and he said he doesn't know if it's. He wouldn't say boredom, but like, they'll go out to a game like today where they lose 7-1 at home to the Pirates, and they didn't even look like they wanted to be there. And sometimes it feels like. I guess
baseball's not the sport to be pulling the Warriors on teams like that.
I agree with you. I think they're inconsistent, and I still don't like their starting pitching.
That's a good question.
I'm not a Quintana guy. I mean,
and isn't and not only that, but isn't Lester starting to get kind of shaky lately too? I mean, he's good, but I mean, he's not quite as dominant as he used to be.
No, and who knows? I mean, I think I agree with you. I think they will end up winning that division, and I think their offense is good enough to do that. But I don't know, man. Some nights they just look really, really bad.
They're really interesting.
To me, they're a very inconsistent team. That's my opinion. They're a good team. Definitely, they're a good team. Some nights they just look like they have no interest in being at the ballpark.
That is really interesting comment. Because they definitely have been up and down, right? Like, they're just some games that they just don't show up. And even the game against Philadelphia on what day was that? Was that Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. They were dead in the water, and it took a really unlikely, Jason Hayward grand slam to win the game.
Grand slam. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Phillies had to basically give them the game, but they did. Yeah. You're right. That is a very interesting. That's one I'm going to be looking at this year. That's a very interesting comment, Cap. Definitely.
What is it? I don't have what is the standings in that division right now?
Well, the Cubs are only a half game behind, so they're 37-25. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals are not far behind them at 35-28. And the Cardinals are interesting because they have been hit hard with injuries. I mean, they still don't have Paul DeYoung. I think they're still missing. Who's the other guy that they're missing? I think. Well, Carpenter wasn't playing.
Well, they just lost Alex Reyes again.
Oh man! And
wasn't it him?
Yes, you're right. Damn, 10-day DL for Reyes. Yeah, you're right.
No, he's gone for the year.
Oh, that's it. Yikes!
Yeah, I believe you might want to double check, but I believe he's gone for the year.
Oh wow! I'll double check that later. But so Reyes is out. They had been without other people for a while. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I think Ozuna was off to a really slow start too.
He was very slow start.
Yeah,
he's starting to get it going.
It's getting it going though. I think he'll be fine. Yeah. But that's a toughie. No, losing now.
That's going to be a fun division, I think.
Yeah.
In July, August, being where they're at, because I can't see any team really pulling away there.
Nah, same. I think, first of all, I think the Brewers, we know the Brewers are going to be there the whole way, much like last year, actually. The Brewers were kind of hanging around for a while, too. So
they fell off in the second half, though.
I know, they did, but it took a while. You're right, though.
This year, I think that they have enough, talent that they can stick around this year.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
and the Cardinals being the mix.
First base has been really good.
Right.
Their first base, he's been good. Yelich has been good. They have Kane. I mean, they have a pretty solid team. And I think they have enough talent this year to hang around. And like I said, that division, it isn't, this isn't the Cubs from, 2 years ago.
Right.
They're not going to run away and hide, I don't think.
There's not going to be a 100-win division winner in this division. No way. The only team that I would say is not going to be participating in this fight is the Pirates. And I think we both kind of saw that coming, right?
And you know what? I think they played better than people would expect them to play this year.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still a flawed team.
I do. I think they have. I mean, yeah, they're not going. They're not going anywhere. But
right.
they sold Cole.
Mm-hmm.
They traded McCutchen, and I think they've played better than a lot of people thought they would play this year.
I mean,
so,
how many games under 500 do you think they'd be? Like one? No one said one. I don't think anyone would have predicted one at this point. So you're right. I don't
know. I didn't think they were going to be over 500 this year.
Well, but I think that's just
what's their record
your point,
now?
though. Like it's 32-33. So definitely doing better than I thought they would. Certainly. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. They've been playing pretty well for them, and I think there's reason to stay about. Like there's no reason to like tank at this point. The odds of getting a good draft pick anyway. Too many bad teams. I don't think that's going to happen. So
yeah.
They may as well.
But I agree with you. That's the one team in the division that's not going to, be in the race. But the other three teams, man, I think it's going to be pretty interesting race.
I think the Cardinals can make a very serious run. Honestly, it really just depends on what the bullpen does. If the bullpen puts it together,
they got to get healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get healthy. They got to get healthy. But I think that they have enough talent to do. I think the Cubs are probably the favorite there, but I wouldn't be shocked if another team won that division.
Especially the Brewers. I think there's a lot of hype in the offseason, and I could see it. I'm standing by
their bullpen's been great. Bullpen's been great.
Oh, very, very good point. Yeah. That's
you know how I feel about bullpens.
Well, I guess it's interesting. You're very interesting. You have a very what's the word? Not sophisticated, but you have a very comprehensive view of bullpens. Because on the one hand, you don't like bullpenning, and I'm with you on that.
No.
I don't think bullpenning is worth. Bullpenning is something you do when you have to. The Dodgers did for like 3 games. I mean, they didn't have a choice. Yeah. Their starters were doing nothing, and they were forced into a bullpen game. Do you remember where Santana or whoever it was for the Dodgers was warming up the day of the game, and he tears his lat literally minutes before the game starts? They had to be forced into the bullpen.
Had a bullpen.
Yeah, they pitched 9 pitchers. Yeah. Now, some idiots on ESPN.
The thing with me is with bullpenning, I mean, I think that it's very difficult to have 9 guys be good all on the same night.
Exactly. The odds are against you in that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my thing. But, as far as, building a deep bullpen, if you're able to get, 5 quality innings out of a starter, and you have a guy in your bullpen who's a swing guy, you have a guy who can give you an inning or a guy who can give you 2 innings, then now you're in the 7th inning. Now, if you build the back end of your bullpen good and you have, a decent guy who can hold and a closer, you're right there. And that's why I think, I'm not a bullpenning guy, but I do think it's very important to have a good bullpen, because not only obviously it helps your bullpen, but it also helps your starters.
Yeah. I think
look
that's
at a guy
true.
like you look at. Yeah, it also helps your starters. It helps shorten the game, and you're able to take a guy out after the 5th inning or after the 6th inning. You don't need to have a guy go. You don't need Jacob deGrom pretty much. You don't need deGrom to go 8 innings or 7 innings every night to give you a chance. You can have a guy give you 2-3 runs over 5 innings, and you get the bullpen. You hold them there, and you're able to win the game. And I've seen the Yankees do it a lot. I've seen some other teams do it who have a good bullpen. So. I mean, that's why I think bullpens are important, but I think bullpenning is difficult because you're asking, 7, 8, 9 guys to be good on the same night. I think it's difficult.
It's difficult, especially if you're going with guys that all do the same thing. And I think this idea, this whole narrative that they all have to do the same thing. I mean, when the Dodgers did it, they were getting a whole different mishmash of guys, and they gutted out an incredible win. And one of the best moments of the year as a Dodger fan. Just amazing that they could do that. That took them guts. But
I mean, you're not throwing out there 8 Kenley Jansens. I mean, if you want to tell me that you say I'm asking Kenley Jansen to be good 8 of the next 9 nights, I put my money on it that he could be. But you want to tell me that you want 8 different pitchers to be good on the same night? It's very difficult.
Very
difficult.
It's not sustainable.
You're not throwing out. It's not the same.
That's the biggest thing I would say about that. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's not.
Right. I mean, like when I was as great as that game was, I knew
you wouldn't want to do that every night.
No, and when Walker Buehler was going out there in their first game at home after that road trip, I was like, he needs to get at least 6 innings. He was gonna do it, but then he got hurt. He was a rib injury. Thankfully, it wasn't anything more serious than that. I think he might, maybe he'll be back in 2 weeks if we're lucky. But that was something, that was better than what we were getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that no matter when you get that helps a lot. It rests everybody else. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you can't expect that to be every game. It's just if they kept going that way, they were going to go on a big losing streak. Every team with that did. And it did actually wind up happening to the Tampa Bay Rays, where they tried that stunt.
Yeah,
going with Romo for like multiple games in a row to start the game and call them an opener.
It's just hard, I don't get that, but
they're desperate. They're bad.
I don't understand the premise of an opener.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I mean, what? I mean, you're telling me that there's a guy that is just good in the first. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I know there have been some starting pitchers who had some first inning issues. I get that, but there's not a lot of them. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big opener guy. I'm not a big bullpenning guy. I mean, I watch the game. I see Verlander, and I know not everybody's Verlander, but even like these past couple weeks, I mean, the Yankees are facing the Blue Jays. Yeah, they got shut out for 12 innings, but the starter was mowing us down. Once the starter left the game, I felt better about it. I said, good. I want the starter out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're bullpenning, you have a guy comes in the second inning and he shuts us down 1, 2, 3. And they bring in a new guy. I'm like, all right, good. That other guy who was throwing, 97 gas is out of the game. Let's try to get to this new guy. And I'd much rather not do that if I'm, a fan of a baseball team. I mean, like you said, the Dodgers did the one night, which is great, but it's not something you want to see every night. I think it's difficult to have, 6 or 7 guys both be good on the same night. It happens. You could do it, but I think it's a lot to ask.
Yeah. I mean, one guy you can usually count on, 2 or 3. I mean, much to the time you could if they're really good, like with Kansas City a few years ago. But 7 is that's asking a lot. I mean,
like I said, you got to build your bullpen. Not every team is able to build their bullpen to be like Kansas City or to be like the Yankees were or to be like Cleveland was the one year. You got to build your bullpen for that. Cleveland had Shaw, they had, Miller. They had some other guys. I mean, I remember the Kansas City year, they pretty much did what I wanted the Yankees to do last year because the Yankees starting pitching was not great. I remember they would bring in Brandon Finnegan at the time, who was very good. He was a rookie. They really couldn't hit him in the bullpen. They had obviously Kelvin Herrera. They had Wade Davis. There was one more. Who was the third, Dave?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Greg Holland.
Holland, yes.
Yeah.
So you had, Finnegan. You had basically 4 guys who were top-notch bullpen guys who can give you 5 innings, maybe 6 innings, depending if 2 of them go 2 innings on any given night in the playoffs. And that's what propelled Kansas City to go to the World Series the one year, then win it the next. Was their bullpen, because their starting pitching wasn't good. It wasn't great.
That's true.
If you remember, their starting pitching wasn't good. Who do they have? They had
they Ventura, had the late Giordano Ventura, who had some.
But even him, he wasn't great.
Yeah.
He still had games where he get blown up.
Cueto during the year they won, right?
Cueto was the guy.
Cueto, they traded for him.
Cueto was their big guy. They had the one, but other than that, man, it was very, I think, hittable guys, and their bullpen really showed. And once they got in that bullpen, it was tough, and that's for 2 years. That's what carried him. That's how I wanted the Yankees to be built. That's how I think teams should be built. You try to get as much starting pitching as you can, but you really got to build the back of that bullpen because late in the game, when things start to get tight, if you early in the game is different. If it starts to get the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, the other team starts to feel the pressure, and you have a guy who's good in that role. All the pressure's on the offense, man. All the pressure's on the offense.
Very true. And there's so many teams in baseball that have bad bullpens. We just mentioned a few of them on the show.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you want to do more of these guys? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you have to obviously build your team that way to do that, and you obviously use starters as well in that position. But there's just, even not only bad bullpen, just bad starting rotation.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a lot of teams out there that can do something like that, in my opinion.
No. I mean, I think what the premise is for the stat people out there, and I'm a stat guy too, but for the ones who endorse the bullpenning movement, is that they're thinking, well, you can make the starters into shorter innings and then you preserve their arms and yada yada yada. But again, it's just a matter of probability. You cannot expect 7 outcomes to always work for you every time. Just play any game of cards or play slots. You ever notice like the slots with more lines, you have more chances for something to go wrong too. Like it's just simple math to me. But anyway, enough of that. NL West, we've mentioned the Dodgers already. Giants doing pretty well. I mean, they're going to be. They got Madison Bumgarner back. I think that's a big boost for them. 8 of their last 10, including that series win at Washington. Very nice week for the Giants. But let's focus on the Diamondbacks and principally Paul Goldschmidt, who finally, I mean, the guy just looked ragged. They had to bench him for a game. It was really starting to look pretty rough for Mr. Goldschmidt. But this week he has turned it on. I mean, he had 2 home runs in back-to-back games in the series at Colorado.
He's on fire now.
He is nailing it. I mean, so I think I've been waiting all year for that because I like the guy. I think he's a really good hitter, and it's about time. I'm really glad that he's doing well. I think the Diamondbacks are here to stay.
Yeah, it seems that way. And the funny thing was, even on telecast today, they were talking about Goldschmidt, and they said Goldie told his manager, listen, I'm going to get hot, but until the end, tell me I stink. He goes, you're going to get a ton of questions about me. He said, I'm going to get hot. Just tell him right now I stink. And, lo and behold, Goldie got really hot. And I think, like you said, he's going to take off from here. I think in that division, they're going to be right there with you guys. And I don't think the Giants are going to be more of a wild card, hunt type of team. I don't think they're going to. I think eventually the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks will pull away from them a little bit in the division. But I think that those are going to be the 2 teams there that are going to be going for it. But again, that's why I don't think they would trade Madison Bumgarner, because I think they will be vying for a playoff spot, whether it's wild card or who knows what happens. I don't think that they'll be. I don't think they have enough for the division, but. I guess we'll see what happens. I think you guys and the Diamondbacks are a better team.
Yeah, I think
I think they will vie for a playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a homer, but I'm going to go Dodgers for the division anyway. But things are good. I think the Diamondbacks are going to be very competitive this year. They really struggled for like last month, but it is good to see them snap out of it. I think that's a key point. It really is. So,
I mean, without him, they don't go without him.
Exactly.
That's their guy.
Mm-hmm.
Once now that he's starting to get going, they're gonna be even better. And think about it, they've been in the race with him being really bad.
Yeah.
So now that he's gonna get hot, that's only gonna give them, more of a boost. So I think you guys and the Diamondbacks will be the 2 teams there really moving forward. And I give your team credit. I mean, I was legitimately concerned about the Dodgers the last time we had the podcast. I mean,
that was the low point when we did the podcast. It was the absolute low point. They were 10 under,
and then you get Kershaw back, and he goes right back on the DL. And it's like, holy shit, what's going to happen to the Dodgers? And it just like you weren't hitting. What's his name? Bellinger wasn't playing well. CP3 wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
And now, look now, and they're playing really good baseball.
Yeah, and both of those guys are starting to come back. In particular, Taylor.
Yes.
Taylor is certainly having a very nice month.
Yes.
All the credit to him. Because I thought he was a flash in the pan. I just thought, well, I guess that he was overrated, but he's hitting well.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job.
Hey, and you're doing all this without Kershaw too.
Yeah, that's amazing. It really is amazing. I mean, Maeda was having a great year too. Ryu was having a good. Of course, we could call that one. He's always getting hurt, but you're right. I mean, literally,
I give him credit. They were 10 games under. The season could have went down real quick.
Yeah,
and. You got Turner back. I think might have been the first night of our podcast when Turner did come back, and that was a night. Look, you guys lost to the Marlins that night. You lost the series in Miami, and it looked really like it was going down a wrong path, and you really turned it around, which is good.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Turner's wrist issue. Apparently, he couldn't play today because of a sore wrist. A little bit of concern, but maybe it's just a minor concern at this point. So, but
that's what he heard originally, right?
Yeah, One thing about the Dodgers I'll mention, since I haven't had a chance to mention it anywhere else, they have a lot of guys that can play multiple positions, which is a unique trait.
They really do.
It's really interesting, right?
They do.
Yeah, Bellinger can play outfield and first base. Muncy can play outfield and first base. Taylor can play literally any position. Barnes can play either middle infield or catcher.
That is so valuable. That's so valuable.
Kike can play both. Yeah, it's I don't think I can remember a Dodger team with that many versatile players. A lot of guys that can play like numerous positions. I've even seen Forsythe play third. I mean, it's pretty unique.
It is. It is. I mean, when you really think about it, it's such a good weapon to have too. Because when guys, throughout the season, guys do go down, and to have that depth and to have that, guys be able to do certain things like that, it's huge. And that's why, I hear a lot of people talking about trading Green and Gerry. They said, they'll have no room for him, with Andujar, with Torres, with Green and Gerry. And I read an article the other day, and they said that the two guys that the Yankees traded Andujar for, number one, are doing really well. So they don't want, Gerry.
Yeah.
They're doing really well, so they don't want to trade Gerry for, just scraps. And the thing that I read they want to do with Gerry is to make him like a CT3 type player, like a Zobrist type player, that he already can play all over the infield. And then when they're going to rest in the outfield, so he can play in the outfield as well. So they kind of want to make him a Zobrist type player for next year. That's what I read today. That, that would be kind of what their interest would be for him. So, you're right. I mean, the Dodgers having, people that can do that is huge, because one guy goes down, you don't really lose much. You move one of your other starters in that position and you go from there. It's really unique.
Yeah. It makes it a very fun team to watch, and it's very helpful when people get hurt, because one guy gets hurt and somebody else fills in, and it doesn't seem like they missed a beat. I didn't even bring up Chase Utley, and that just gives you an idea of how good the depth is right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and depth is huge. I mean, having depth, obviously in the long season is very, very, very huge. And I think, not to go back to, AL East, but you see the Red Sox, they lost Pedroia, and, they lost obviously Mookie and JD. And they cut, we didn't even talk about this yet. They cut Hanley. They cut Hanley. Yeah. And it's funny, Dave. Somebody said, they cut Hanley or Ramirez, and then, because of injuries, they had to start Christian Vasquez at DH. You don't think Hanley or Ramirez would have helped them there? Yeah.
I mean, depth is huge. I mean, the Yankees have so much depth that, you lose. I mean, God forbid if one of our infielders did go out, whether it's, Didi, you have Brandon Drury that can come up and play. You have Neil Walker and Torres don't even get at bats. You have guys like Tyler Austin. I mean, having depth is huge. And, it really could help, in the course of a 162-game season, it really could help, if one of your big guys goes out, it really could help the slide. And you guys have that, and the Yankees have that, and I'm sure there are other teams that have that too. Having that depth is really, really big. Yeah, it's huge, for sure. For sure. It's been, and the Dodgers are definitely blessed to have that kind of depth. And then really, that's why everybody talks up that organization, because they have figured out a way to scout guys that are that versatile, and there's just more levels of it. Like, there are even additional guys that are in their minor leagues that can be called up eventually to supplement these positions. So it's amazing. Like, they've really been doing a great job. Huge. Yeah. Okay, I guess that wraps it up for the general baseball stuff. So before I let you go, I want to get your opinion about random stuff otherwise. Sure. Specifically, LeBron, that finals was a mess. I mean, game one was pretty much the whole finals, because like after J.R. Smith forgot the score of the game, I mean, that was it. So that was that. So where's LeBron going? What do you think? I'm hoping he goes to L.A. I really do.
You want to go to LA? I can't see. I want him. I
want him there. I want to see. I want to see him. I want to see Lonzo. I think Paul George is a good player, but I don't think he's a lead guy. And I could be wrong, because I was wrong on James Harden. I didn't think James Harden was a lead guy, and he's tremendous. But also, James Harden didn't really go anywhere until he got, the point guard and Chris Paul. So I think that, having a point guard is very. I think in this day and age, big guys might not be as important. I think point guards and, the off guards are really important. And you saw what Kyrie and LeBron did together.
Yeah.
You saw what, Chris Paul and James Harden were able to do this year. And obviously Steph Curry's incredible.
Yep.
So I would love to see LeBron go to LA. I think having a pass first point guard who holds the ball once he's healthy would really benefit everybody, and be able to have guys he can throw the ball to. And you obviously, would you guys be able to keep Julius Randle or no?
I doubt it. I think that they're going to probably have to. I think the cap's going to force them to get rid of a couple guys, including Lonzo. I think Lonzo's gone too. That's one reason I don't want them to do it, because I think it's going to break up this young.
Lonzo's a rookie, though. Where would he go?
Who? What? Oh, Lonzo's a rookie. Well, he's
not making any money.
It's not about the money, though. It's just about the idea of having the. Well, let me think.
Well, you need a point guard.
It wouldn't be so much about that. It's just the idea that I'm sure LeBron is going to want like veteran help, because he loves his vets, and I think
right. So it's more. So you can get two maxes, right? You can grab him and Paul George, no?
Yeah, that's true. You could go that route. That is a good point. Yeah, you could go that.
Or
route.
You can grab LeBron. You can get and you can get pieces. You can get shooters. You can get whoever.
Well, that's what I was kind of after. I was thinking maybe they would do that as a method to getting the shooters. See, I don't really think they need to do that, though. I think number one, I think LeBron is not getting any younger. I feel like at any moment, something very catastrophic is going to happen to him. He's playing way too many minutes.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I hope not, too, and it could happen because he's just a freak like that, but history's not on his side. That's what I'm very, very concerned about that. So we'll see about that part, but look at this, Cap. What if they ended up getting Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? I mean, that's the future.
I think that'd be great.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean,
yes, I think that would be. Now that obviously, LeBron would be great, but if you're able to get that, I think that because of the age of Kawhi and the age of Paul George, I think maybe you'd be sustainable for a little longer and getting a 34-year-old LeBron James.
Yeah,
but LeBron has shown no signs of slowing down, man.
I know.
I mean, it's crazy.
Oh,
everybody criticizes the guy, and in the finals he put up a 38-10 average throughout the finals. Yeah. I mean, he's just with no help. I mean, that game one had 1 points. I mean, he's incredible. I mean, I've never seen a guy get chastised and get criticized. I mean, just enjoy it. The guy's great. We're watching an all generational talent right now. And dude, everybody just wants to either there's no middle ground with him. Either you love him or you despise him because you say he's not Jordan. And I'll tell you right now, Dave, I watched, I was into basketball during the Jordan years. Those Jordan teams, they would not beat this Warrior team. There's no way. There's no way. The Warrior team's more athletic. They utilize the three ball more. And, they would have nobody that would stop Durant. I mean, back then, they didn't have 6'10" guys who could do what Kevin Durant did.
Yeah, it's very true.
Then they had 6'8" guys that could do what LeBron James did. I don't think those Jordan teams would have beat these Warrior teams. I think you can't you can't compare eras or whatever, but all LeBron James' criticism is, he's not Michael, he's not Michael. I mean, if Michael had to play these Warrior teams, he might be 1-3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to really criticize. It's just crazy. The way that this guy gets criticized, it just blows my mind. I mean, he's just a generational talent that we should be enjoying. When he leaves the game and people are able to take a step back and look at his career maybe 5 years from when he's gone, they might say, holy shit.
Yeah.
What we witnessed was incredible.
Yeah.
And this is the one guy who, in my opinion, he came into this league with more hype than anybody I could ever remember, and he surpassed the hype.
surpassed the hype. Yeah, you're right, though. You're absolutely right.
You never see that. You never see that.
It's amazing. No, and I've reached a point, and I have gotten friends of mine to agree with me on this. I think if you were to make the argument now, I'm making the argument that LeBron is even better than Jordan. He had less to work with around him.
I can't even disagree with you on that.
I honestly think that he might be better.
He's incredible.
He really is.
He does everything. I mean, Jordan was a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan might be a better defender than LeBron.
Yeah.
But LeBron, the way he passes, the way he can score, the way that he's starting to evolve his game, where he's able to shoot better now.
Yep.
And he still is able to get to the basket. I mean, He's an incredible basketball player, and I think that he's getting chastised. I think he's getting demerited for the wrong reasons, because I don't think Jordan would have done what he did against this Warrior team and against some of the guys in the NBA today. I don't think he would have.
The league is more athletic today than it was then too. I think that's clear.
Yeah.
You watch the games, like you can see that it's very easy. Guys can catch up, even if you try to do a fast break. Guys will catch up to you now. Some of these guys are just so big, like the height advantage.
The league is way more athletic. The league is way more talented. I mean, the guys, the athleticism in the league today is outstanding. It is crazy. I mean, everybody can jump to the gym. Everybody's jacked. Everybody's big. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, all good points. All good points. And look, I think I will certainly concede that if LeBron were to come to the Lakers, it would be such a boost to the city. I think it's just so much juice, amazing juice, like juice you wouldn't believe.
You guys would be in a good position. I read an article that, and I don't know where all this is coming from, but obviously was rumors last week that Kyrie would want to play for the Knicks. Number one, I don't know why Kyrie would ever want to leave the situation he's in. Yeah. He's on a team that's going to be good for a very long time. They have a lot of young talent, and them and the Sixers are going to be probably the cream of the crop of the East moving forward, because I just don't see, the Cavs, even if LeBron stayed, being that team, even with him. I think there's too much talent. Other places, whether it's with Philly or with Boston, I think there's too much talent there. But he read an article saying that Boston can go get LeBron and Kyrie could go.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that?
I don't know. That seems like pure speculation, though. It almost seems like a Knicks beat writer just made it up, honestly.
Well, I'm thinking even without the Knicks, even before Kyrie's Knicks thing, I was reading that what is Kyrie's contract situation?
That is a good question.
Is he?
When he was traded, obviously, right? So whatever contract he's on, it's the same contract.
Why do people keep saying that either they said that Boston could trade Kyrie and sign LeBron? And I think Kyrie might want to play for the Knicks 2019. Why? I think Boston should stay. I think that they are ready to win right now. And I think with Kyrie and Hayward, they're a title defender. They're a title contender. I really do.
I mean,
I think they are.
They already almost made the finals without both he and Hayward.
Yes.
Imagine next year.
And they want to keep Marcus Smart. They'll have Rozier. They'll have Jason Tatum, who emerges as a really good player. Kyle Horford. Next year they're going to be a team. And Kyrie, watching this year's finals, LeBron not being able to give the ball to somebody else could kind of say, "Oh, you go score now."
Yeah,
it was tough, and he used to be able to do that with Kyrie. And even in their first meeting, if Kyrie doesn't go down in Game 1, if overtime in Game 1 on the road, the Cavs have a good shot of winning that series too.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, the Warriors are an all-time great team. I mean, with Durant, obviously, but before Durant, if Kyrie stays healthy, who knows what happens in that series? We know that LeBron beats them the next year, and then obviously this year, Chris Paul's out to Game 6, Game 7. Who knows what happens there either? So it's they've got a couple of breaks along the way.
For sure, and I think it's going to be a very exciting Eastern Conference next year. I just, as long as Toronto doesn't have a say in it, I think the Eastern Conference is going to be. Yeah, I'm just done. I'm done, and I think they were done too because they fired the coach, and so.
But what's going to happen? I mean, I was asking a friend. I said, we're talking about Coach of the Year, and I said it's got to be Brad Stevens, right? And they said, or the Toronto coach. I said he just got fired. How the hell are you Coach of the Year?
It's a regular season award, to be fair, but that's a very weird thing to do. I
agree, but
yeah,
that'd be very weird.
That'd be very weird. So we'll see how that, if they.
My opinion is Stevens, but
it's totally Stevens for me. I think it's Brad Stevens. Think of they lost their two best players, and they got the team. Well, I guess you can't factor the playoffs, but even the regular season, they got them to the I believe the best record. Yeah, the best record in the NBA. Maybe the second best record because Toronto had the number one. But to do that without your two best players, I mean, name another team that can lose their two best players during the season and do that. Nobody's going to do that. other than Brad Stevens. He's an incredible coach.
They were great. I agree.
Yeah. So I think they will make the right call, but we won't know for another couple weeks, I guess, officially. The NBA awards at the end of the month is so stupid, but
yeah, I know.
They got to milk their money, I guess.
And Harden's going to win the MVP, but it should be LeBron.
You're right. I can't believe it, but you're probably right. It should be LeBron. Absolutely.
It should be LeBron.
100% LeBron. Nobody else on that team, an NBA player.
I'm not like, I'm not a hater, I'm not a lover, but
yeah,
I've watched LeBron when I was a junior in high school. I remember watching his high school game on TV. I remember the hype. He was all over the magazines, and being a basketball player, then we were all locked into LeBron and Carmelo, and LeBron and Carmelo was great too, but LeBron lived up. I mean, he came out as the chosen one. He was the next phenom, and he was so overhyped, and he surpassed the hype, dude. I mean, you never see that, and just for that alone, because I've always been a LeBron supporter. I always think that he gets shortchanged by the haters and maybe by some of his supporters. Maybe he's put on a higher pedestal than he should be, but I just think some of the criticism of him are just not fair. I just think you sit back and you look at what this guy's accomplished and what his numbers are and what he's done, and you got to have a little common sense too. I mean, people put his finals record and they chastise his finals record.
Oh, that's the worst. I heard that one. Like, Jordan never went 0 for his last. Are you kidding me?
The team that LeBron brought to the finals against the Spurs, come on, give me
seriously.
A break. The team that LeBron brought to the finals this year, give me a break. You lose Kyrie in game 1 of the finals 2 years ago. Come on, or 3 years ago, whenever that was.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't beating Kevin Durant this year. They weren't beating Kevin Durant last year. I mean, what the Warriors did is they took a 73-win team and added a top 2 player to it.
Yeah.
How do you beat that? Very difficult.
It's very difficult. And he was really playing well. He definitely deserved the finals MVP this year. He was dynamite. I mean, there's no way around it. There was one game he just absolutely took over. Another one Steph took over. Somebody on that team taking over. Like it's such a talented team.
You talk about it, Dave. It's you have Curry and Thompson go and have an off day, and Durant was 40.
Yeah.
Durant didn't have a great game in game 1, and they still won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
They have so much firepower, and they're so deep. They have guys like Sean Livingston coming off the bench. He would have been starting for Cleveland.
Interesting. Yeah. And they didn't play Iguodala most of the series, but he wouldn't have a good playoff anyway. So, the team
they didn't need him.
No, they didn't need him. I agree with you 100% on that. This team is so talented that their bench really wasn't that great this year, and they still were dominant. I mean, they were carrying the carcasses of Zaza Pachulia and Nick Young.
Yeah.
And who's the other one? There's somebody else too. There was a third guy.
Another guy. I can't think of his name.
There's somebody who's just pretty useless over on the whole. I can't remember who. Oh, JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is the other guy. Yeah. The guy can't even make a dunk. He missed the dunk.
No, he can't.
No.
The crazy thing is JaVale McGee, if he was on the Cavs, he'd be playing major minutes.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore of dumb NBA players, or let's just say bad decision-making NBA players to be playing.
Him and J.R. Smith are up there, huh?
Oh, but they're both. Oh, absolutely. Both faces right on there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He would be a good fit in the Cavs. Put him on the Cavs, but JaVale McGee in the Cavs.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of a blueprint to beat the Warriors. I mean, the Rockets
Houston was right there. Houston was right there. Their defense was locking them down and forcing them. It was basically switching defense.
LeBron went to the Spurs, they would be a problem.
Interesting. I wouldn't.
If they can get the Kawhi.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, they'd have to lose Kawhi, which is pretty obvious. But
no. If I want LeBron and Kawhi together.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it could be done.
Would they be able to keep them doing both?
I don't know. It's a good question.
In LA, you could.
Yeah, you could do it in LA. Oh, you mean both? Oh, both of them in LA. Well, that's an interesting.
Or,
that really gets interesting.
I mean, I think that if I'm trying to think if LeBron and Kawhi Leonard, I think Kawhi Leonard healthy, is still, a top 5 player in the league. He defends, he can score. He's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
So, you put those two together, and then you got some youth on the Lakers too with Brandon Ingram.
I think Kawhi will end up being fine eventually. I do think he was hurt. I think that he just needs to change the scenery. That was just too weird. I honestly have no explanation of what that scenario was about. So whatever. Well, maybe he can just move on and try something different. So we'll see.
Did the Lakers can land Kawhi? That'd be huge.
Kawhi would be an enormous pickup. And I know the Lakers have a reputation of being unable to get the free agent, but Kawhi would be which is just huge. I know he's not a big media guy. Oh, he'd be great. Everybody. He would be so great. So that's what I'm excited about. Hopefully they'll land at least one of these big free agents, and it should be really interesting.
I think NBA free agency is going to be, very interesting. For sure.
Yeah. It's a big year for NBA off season, no doubt. Very excited to see how it goes.
How about if LeBron went to the Bucks?
I thought about that too. They do have. I have to look at the salary cap situation, but pairing him with Giannis would be an amazing fit. I don't
think they're paying anybody though, right?
I don't think so. I mean, Giannis isn't getting that big contract yet. They got
Jabari Parker's not getting paid.
Right. Well, they do have some high-priced contracts in there. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna look this up because.
Who do they have?
I mean, I know, for example, that Bledsoe is getting paid outrageous amount of money, but I don't know how long.
Is he gone after this year?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know where. I don't know if he's walking or not. So give me a sec here. I'll get this in a sec. I don't know why that was a different. Oh, I have to call it payroll. Okay. So actually, Giannis is on a pretty decent contract, getting paid $24-25 million a year.
Oh wow,
that's all right. I mean, he is the superstar. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Bledsoe still gets $15 million for next season.
Okay.
They should try to trade him though. He's a terrible defender. So awful. Middleton's getting paid $13. Yeah, they got a lot of assorted useless parts like Matthew Dellavedova for $9.
Yeah.
Tony
like if LeBron wanted to stay in the East, that could be a team he can go to. I think a team that I don't think he would mesh well with, which everybody's saying he should go to, is Philly. I don't think he should go to Philly.
Philly, yeah, that's
I don't think he should go there. Yeah, I think it devalues Ben Simmons a lot because I think both of their games are similar. Ben Simmons can shoot.
Do they really want to do that?
Ben Simmons, his strength is having the ball,
getting in the ball,
and creating.
Yeah, getting into the
and
hole.
LeBron is such. He has the ball so much that I think it really would devalue Simmons. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think they should do that. I think they should use that money and I think they should use that money and improve the team, elsewhere. There's other ways they could improve that team. I don't think that LeBron is I don't think LeBron's the answer. I mean, granted, I don't know. I just think it would. I don't think it would mesh well with Simmons. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I think if LeBron was going to go to Milwaukee, they'd have to trade a lot of guys for like expiring contracts and something like that, and then like cut a few guys. But it could probably, if they really wanted to, they probably could do it. And the only guy they really need to keep is Giannis. Everybody else can go. And I think they could do it. It would be a very unlikely choice. And
can you go to the Pelicans with Boogie? Or not Boogie, I'm sorry, AD?
That'd be interesting. Yeah. That'd be interesting. I don't know what their salary cap scenario is though, because man, Boogie's getting a lot of money. Again.
Is he gone?
Not that much though. Let me see.
I think Boogie's gone after this year.
Oh right. I think you're right.
Is he?
No, he's a free agent, right? Pelicans payroll. Give me a sec here. I'll get this.
I mean, he's heard he ruptured in the Phillies, but he's a free agent.
Well, yeah, even if he was, like, you're right, like, even at that, like, he's on, how much longer is he going to be healthy? Let's see. Boogie is, oh, yeah, no, he's going to walk. He wouldn't get that much. He wouldn't have been paid very much anyway, $18 million.
No.
In basketball
terms. This is going to be the big year. He was supposed to make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
my
tough.
buddy was like,
well, when I was thinking he's going to do a 1-year deal just to rehab himself, and then he'll get the next big deal. I think it'll work out.
Right.
I just don't know with whom. But
go to the Knicks.
Well, he'd be really popular in the Knicks. That would be a good pickup. You think the Knicks would be smart enough to get him? I don't know.
I think he'd be a disaster with the media.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
I think it'd be fun to have.
Why? Because he tells the truth. That's why. He's actually honest.
Yeah,
He's
and
honest.
you know,
That's
he
the
has
problem.
no patience
The media
for
does not
either.
like. New York media hates honesty. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Whenever they just say it how it is, they have a real problem with that. They go, "Oh, he's a problem guy. He's a bad seed." Because he fucking tells the truth.
They're used to the vanilla answers.
Oh, they love vanilla. They're big fans of vanilla. Why do you think they love Tom Coughlin so much? Because he's all about vanilla. I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, the media, they like a guy like Boogie because he's able to get them headlines.
Yeah.
He's able to get them, clickbait or whatever, he's able to get them headlines. I think here he would be, I know him and the media don't mesh well. I think here would be a big problem.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, talent-wise, he'd be great. I would love to have him here.
I think that they shouldn't worry about that.
This area needs something, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean,
Porzingis is a fun player. He's a great player. But they need juice, right? They need the juice. They need to be competitive. I'm not even talking like a championship.
I want to be excited. I want to go to a Knick game. You know what I mean? It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how they keep drawing celebrities over there, but they do need to get some. They need to get something to root for other than Porzingis. Like I think another superstar would definitely do it. A lot of rumblings about LeBron, but I think I think they've gotten conditioned to doing that anytime LeBron's a free agent.
LeBron is never coming.
There's no way. There's no way. The problem is,
if you think LeBron had problems with Dan Gilbert,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Shit, him and Dolan would.
I know. It's absolutely. It'd be a disaster. So yeah, we can roll that out.
It's gonna be interesting where he goes. I do think he's out of Cleveland.
I do too. Tommy made a very interesting case in text about him staying, and it really amounts to.
Can he get help?
Well, you could sign for 1 year. Like you could sign with Cleveland for 1 more year, and then just maybe try to, trade Kevin Love, which I would be in favor of too, because I think Kevin Love's a bad player. It's just that it's not a fit on that team, and he needs to go back to doing what he does best.
Losing Kyrie is going to set that. Losing Kyrie really hurt them.
Yeah. But I was happy for Kyrie doing that.
What they got for Kyrie hurt them even more.
It's really true though. Like it really goes back.
You have an asset like that. Once they got back for him, was broken good. It was a terrible trade. Terrible trade.
Yeah, didn't work out, and they lost their first round draft pick too. The one that with the Lakers. The Lakers are making out like bandits on this one because, losing Larry Nance is it's always tough to lose a good player like that. But Clarkson was not that. Clarkson
sucked.
He was awful.
I started watching. I was like, oh, he's in. Well, I was like, he's in offense. He was clueless. He was awful.
Yeah, that is one pig-headed player that he really had confidence in himself, but he didn't have the talent to match it, man. He was bad. Dude was awful.
He was awful.
Oh, yeah.
Awful.
So, that was a brutal. It may end up being a brutal trade because if the Lakers end up getting a good pick out of it, they're going to probably pick like 25th or something like that.
I just think LeBron at this point, and I think they made a comment about this on the telecast too, that, LeBron's, his legacy keeps taking hits. And I don't think that he's going to re-sign with Cleveland and not have any help to try and win a championship. I think he's going to go somewhere, or he's able to get, if he's able to get people to go to Cleveland with him, maybe he'll stay, but he's going to go somewhere where he's going to be able to be in a position to win a championship. I hope he doesn't go to Houston because I wouldn't want that. I really would love to see him in LA, man. I think I would love to see him, Paul George, Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram in LA next year. I think that would be awesome.
And hopefully they've worked out something with Randall too.
Great.
But I don't feel optimistic.
Yeah, I think it'd be tough to sign. Randall's a good player.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's really picked. I know that he'd been a frustrating player early on, but he had made believers out of both me and Yachts.
Yeah,
and that's big. Yachts
turning
around on him. That is a big story because Yachts is really down on him in his early years. So that's huge.
He had a good year last year.
He really did. And I think that's the beginning of something more to come. I'm going to feel optimistic about that, but we'll see. So yeah, it'd be a lot of juice.
I mean, you got to have Lonzo Ball healthy next year. I mean, you got to have him healthy. And he's the guy that's going to these days, point guards are the catalyst. He's going to make the shit game. So,
absolutely.
You got to hope he's healthy.
Let me ask you this though, because again, like with LeBron, I worry about a Steve Nash scenario. They got Steve Nash.
I gotcha.
The second they signed him, he was useless because he just got hurt.
Hey, listen, I mean, LeBron's going to be 34, so I hear you, but I think LeBron still has at least 2 to 3 good years left in him. I mean, the guy takes care of his body so well. He showed no signs of slowing down. Yeah, he should be the NBA MVP this year.
Right.
I think it might be a little different. Steve Nash had some back issues, even leading up going.
And he was 38
guys.
too. Like that's a difference too.
And he's 38.
He was much older,
you got LeBron James.
To be fair,
who's a 34-year-old. I'm going to be 34, but he's showing no signs. I mean, I think he at least has another couple of years left in him of being an elite NBA player. And the thing with him is he's able to do other things besides score. He's able to pass. He's able to rebound. I think he has a couple of years. I think if you guys sign him, you'd be good for a little while.
Well, I mean, it'd be a fun 2 years, right? In an optimal scenario.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun 2 years.
That'd be optimal.
I think that'd be fun.
I see you sign LeBron. You're able to, sign somebody else.
Even if it blows, I guess if it blows up, it still will be fun because then we could enjoy just how much of a disaster it was. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe that will work out. So,
it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens this offseason.
Well,
isn't Chris Paul free agent?
Yes, he is. And I don't see any assurance that he's going to Houston. None.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That's another one to keep track of. What an offseason this is going to be. Holy mackerel.
The thing that's going to bother me, though, is, if Chris Paul does go somewhere else, it's almost like Durant had the Warriors 3-1, left and went and joined them. And really, the Rockets had the Warriors. They had him, man. If Paul was healthy. I mean, it could have been a totally different
I think they win. I mean, it's easy to say that now, but I think they win.
They were up 16 in Game 6.
They were up 17. Oh, you just said that. Yeah, they were up 17 points. Imagine that with Chris Paul. Totally different game. Totally different. So, now interesting. Imagine that. They probably would have even won the finals. Maybe in more games, but they still would have done it.
Yes. I think more games, but they probably would have won the finals.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Just to think about how that one injury kind of just turned everything. But it is a tribute to Chris Paul because he had been, people had a reputation of Chris Paul being a bad playoff player, but not this year. Yep. He really was good this year.
Agreed.
Good stuff. Where do you think he would go, though? Like, I don't know if he's going to be with Houston either.
I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously,
Cleveland?
He wants to go to a competitor. It's an interesting choice because LeBron and him are pals, right? They're big friends.
Yes.
So I think that would be a good choice if they could work out the salary cap.
Cleveland?
They trade Love. They could even trade him to Houston, which would be weird, but maybe. But how do you trade him to Houston if he walks?
They can't afford a max right now.
Wait, who? Cleveland? I don't think so. I mean, LeBron is the guy that's getting paid that much. They still have to deal with Tristan Thompson's giant ass salary and J.R. Smith's giant ass salary and Kevin Love's giant ass salary if they don't trade him. So it's a tough road ahead for the Cavs if they want to try one more year with LeBron. But I would just say if I am the Cavs, I say let's try it. Let's do it. Let's just get him to do a 1 year scenario. I think it's the best chance they have to stay competitive. Once he's gone, it's over. They're going to be a lottery team for the next 15 years. They'll never
funny,
get it back.
Dave. You say that. They said that after that game, this might be the last relevant game Cleveland plays in a very, very long time.
I believe it. If they don't re-sign him.
Yep.
I believe it. He believes it. I'm sure he believes it too. I'm sure he knows this.
You say that, and I mean, obviously they added Kevin Love as well, but I mean, before LeBron, Cleveland was crap.
Brutal. When he left for Miami, the years in between, they were miserable. Yeah. They weren't watchable, Cap. They were not a watch. They were unwatchable.
That's what I mean. LeBron takes that team to the finals.
It's pretty insane. Like, you're gonna look back on this, we're gonna be like, I can't believe you took that piece of crap, that pile of crap, into the finals 2 times, really. But let's just say one time specifically, since Kyrie wasn't there the previous time. But definitely,
with Kyrie though, I mean, when they had Kyrie, they were nothing. They put LeBron on their finals team.
Yeah, Yeah.
Anywhere the guy goes, they're an instant playoff contender. It's crazy.
He is a huge difference maker. I'm not sure if necessarily he literally makes his teammates better, but he makes the team instantly a playoff
that
team.
surprises me, the way that he's able to move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely makes the team better.
That's weird, right? That is really weird. It's the weirdest thing because I know that he gets, if you look statistically, like, oh, he's getting all these assists, but I don't get the same vibe with him that I had with Magic long old time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's like the way he positions his teammates. He basically forces them to stand around and then like shoot threes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I can't really put a finger on it either, though. But we're both kind of on the same point. It is interesting. He doesn't really.
It is interesting.
Doesn't have quite the same effect as. Let me see a guy that does make his teammates definitively better. What can I use? Not really Steph, because Steph really is more of a shooter.
But Steph does make his teammates better. Steph's a very good passer.
He is a really good passer.
The Warriors team is a good passer.
Yeah, I guess you could go with Steph because
they're very, very unselfish. Very unselfish.
Yeah, I don't know why Mike thinks he's selfish. That's a weird comment because I think he needs to pay more attention. Because I agree, he is an unselfish player on the whole. I mean, look, there are guys like Mo Spates, Harrison Barnes. Where are they now? You hear of them? Can you find them with a microscope? Once they leave the Warriors, they're nothing. So it's like, I think that's a good point. So, but yeah, I don't get the same.
I mean, I watch the Warriors. Their ball movement is really, really good, and guys even like Draymond. He gets the ball. It's great. They get the ball. They're almost like on like a semi-fast break, and Draymond gets the ball in the middle. The ball barely touches his fingers. Boom, swung in the corner for Clay. Somebody, close out on Clay. Boom, swing over to Steph. I mean, they really are a team that really passes the ball. There are a lot of unselfish players.
Yeah, and I thought that this would have been their last chance to really do anything serious, but no, I think next year they're going to be fine. Well, most of those guys are still there.
Oh yeah.
The year after, they're probably going to break it up because I think Clay's going to get a big old contract, but it can't be from them. I don't think they can afford to do all that. And think about it, like they have to make a choice basically between 2 out of 3, right? Basic for all intents and purposes. And they're not getting rid of Steph. Steph is the face of the franchise. They're not getting rid of Kevin Durant. He's the best player, other than LeBron in the NBA.
Yes.
So Clay's the odd man out, and I think that's gonna, they'll take a little bit of a hit from that.
And it's funny because obviously actions are louder than words, but I read an interview or I heard an interview with Clay, and they'd asked him about that. He said, "It's all about the money." He said, "I grew up here." He goes, "I helped build this." And he said, "This is where I want to be." So who knows if he would take less to stay? I don't know. Who knows?
He's the kind of laid back guy that might actually do that, but I don't.
I mean, I heard him in the interview say it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it, and he was really about wanting to stay where he helped build that program, and it's not all about the money and this and that.
Yeah.
And how he has enough money, and so who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think my feeling is that what would actually happen is that some team's going to blow him away with like an amazing offer.
Could happen. I mean, hey, he's still young.
He can't, but you cannot build a franchise. Yeah, I agree with all that. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just meant to say, whoever takes him better understand though that he's a good role player. You cannot build a franchise around him. I made this point with Chris in Georgia, aka Sports Pope, a few weeks ago on the NBA show. You can't build a franchise around him because he doesn't have that mental not even mental makeup, but he's not really a superstar. You know what I mean? Like he's a great player, but he's a great player
pretty much
as a supporting. Yeah, exactly. Like he's a supporting guy.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
That's why you got to be careful. Like don't make him the number one guy because he's not a number one guy.
That's why I think what the Warriors have going right now is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, they have everybody. They have guys who know their roles, like a Thompson, like a Draymond Green, and they have guys like Curry and Durant who are superstars. And they have guys like Iguodala, who's the defensive stopper. They have guys that know their roles, and they have guys that are able to take over games. And even Thompson knows his role, but he's able to take over a game. No, he's a guy that can score 20 points in a quarter.
Right.
You know, he's a guy that can do that. And that's why, I mean, in my opinion, this is the best basketball team that I've ever seen as far as collection of talent goes.
Ew,
and as far as just total.
I'm not sure if I'm there, but it's really good.
I'm there. I'm there. I think that they would beat that Bulls 72.
I would agree with that, but I think they'd have a tough time with the Lakers this 80s though, and the Celtics too.
Okay, and I agree with you.
I don't know. You're
right.
talking about 3 Hall of Famers.
You know, I know. I'm talking about teams that I've seen. I didn't see those teams.
For sure.
I saw the Bulls teams and I saw these teams. So I mean, you're probably right. You know, the back in the days, the Celtics and Laker team might be a little different, but you know, I'm just going by the teams that I saw, and you know, the way that the 3-pointers utilized these days. They didn't do
that's
it like
a factor. That is a factor.
Day, so
they're very good. Yeah,
huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, Dave, I watched the Warriors, and I'm like, wow. Even the other. So the night that they were Game 6, you know, I was a DJ. Then I looked at the TV and I said, "Holy shit, they're down 15." Dave, I went and got a drink, went to the bathroom, looked back up, and they were up by 3. I mean, they're able to put up points so quick because they're so good at shooting the 3 that. You know, even in this game, you know, there's a 9-point lead, 2 possessions, it's a 3-point game. I mean, there's not many teams that can do that to you, like the Warriors can. You know, with Steph and Clay and these guys. I mean, it's crazy. No lead is safe.
Yeah, and you know, the third quarter magic is a real thing.
Oh my God!
Nobody turns it on the third quarter like them. They were so good.
Nobody. I agree.
Yeah. It's a team that I think we kind of have gotten tired of them because they just keep going. But I think once it's said and done, we're going to really appreciate how good they're.
It's a little. I mean, I don't know. I guess Durant going there to me was overkill because
I agree.
They were a 73-win team before him. They were a 73-win team. I mean, people want to say that it's the same as it's all right. The premise could be the same. But LeBron went to a Miami team that was not that good.
And they were
improving. And then took them to the finals and win the championships.
Yeah.
Durant went to a team that they just won 73 basketball games. They had the best regular season record ever.
Yeah.
They added the top 2 guy. It's like, to me, it was overkill. I mean, granted, Durant went and did, I mean, even LeBron. When LeBron won his rings in Miami, his first ring was emotional, but his second ring, you know, it was kind of the way that the Warriors acted, like, all right, we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
When LeBron won that ring in Cleveland, man, that just to me, that meant so much more. You know, especially coming back from 3-1, it just meant so much more. And I don't know. I feel like if Durant would have won that ring in Oklahoma City, man, it would have meant so much more.
Huge difference. It would have.
They had him 3-1, Dave. They had him 3-1.
It was right there. That's so crazy. It's just. Yeah, but it's absolutely right. I mean, Nike can try to dress it up as much as they want after the game, and they did that last year too with Kevin Durant. There's just no dressing it up. Like, he basically decided to take the path of least resistance. At least LeBron put together his own team that really hadn't done anything together before. It was just a really talented team. But like you said, Durant literally went to a team that already won a championship, and it's like, what other implication would you get from that? Then I am so desperate to win a championship, I'm going to go to a team that already won a championship. I mean,
they just put up the best record ever in regular season ever, and then they blew a 3-run lead, and Draymond Green, even before leaving the arena, is calling Kevin Durant up.
KD,
come on, dude.
You can't justify that. You can't dress that up. There's no way to spin that. I mean, it's just not a good look.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the whole objective is winning.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like KD's so damn good that he could have done this. He didn't need to join a 73-win team to win. That's just my thing.
I agree. That's what's so frustrating. He is so good. That's why it's so frustrating.
Nobody can win a championship on their own. Everybody needs help. You know, I'm not saying that he would go and go to get a bunch of ragamuffins and win a championship. Everybody needs to play LeBron. You need help from Kyrie. You know.
Yeah.
But I think if he would have stayed in Oklahoma City, maybe there was maybe in his mind he looked at Westbrook's game and said, I can never win with this guy. Maybe that was the case, but they had the team 3-1 and both of them choked. It wasn't just Westbrook. Both of them choked down the stretch.
Oh, Harden was rough. Are you talking about 2012?
They could have won.
That was rough. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I think we still, as fans, never get the impression that he is the reason they won that finals, although he honestly was this time because he was playing great.
Oh, he was. I mean, adding him, granted, the Warriors probably could have won the finals without him anyway.
Yeah.
But adding him, he's the best player on that team.
Yes.
He's the best player.
Agree with that. I think that was an interesting conclusion, but it's absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been interesting, I think, the first championship they won, because the Cavs had a healthy Kyrie, had a healthy LeBron, and I think it would have been interesting if there was no Kevin Durant, if it was, the same series over again. Yeah. It would have been interesting, but I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's not only that. It's not only them just getting ridiculously good, but then who they're playing being ridiculously useless other than LeBron. That's the shame of it. It's just like, you're not going to get... It's impossible.
They're going to retool their roster next year. They're going to make small... They're going to retool their roster. They're going to get deeper.
Wait, who?
The Warriors.
Oh, gosh, yeah. They can't... Their bench can get so much better. That's
exactly. They're going to retool their roster. They're going to get deeper. They're going to get some more players. They're going to make, some smaller tweaks that are going to make them a better team.
Yeah,
scary. They're probably going to win it all again next year.
Probably, but I think they'll have a tougher fight this time. I think the East is going to send a better team.
It depends. If that part leaves, no.
I forgot to talk to you about this. The Sixers, they fired Brian Colangelo after he tried all that stunts with the burner accounts. He ran one and his wife ran the other ones, and
crazy.
Boy, wow, what kind of tension do you think's going on over there right now?
For the Sixers case, you hope that, he's gone.
That part's good, but still.
You hope that there's no lingering effects. So that is just crazy.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Can't do that. It's bad management. Ultimately,
Kevin Durant had a burner account too.
Wait, who did? Oh, yeah. That was, I remember the call back to that. Kevin Durant's burner account, which guys with
I'm sure a lot of NBA players do.
Honestly, I bet you everybody does in the NBA. And it's not really necessarily, and it's probably just so that they can follow the league, because we're all on Twitter, whether we know it or not. Yep. Ultimately, everybody's on Twitter. But what most people are doing is most people don't actually tweet. They just kind of go on it just to read the stuff. So the idea of burner accounts is not that controversial. It's when you're trying to use them to try to get after players and denigrate them, and then back up your organization. That's where it starts to become really shady and sketchy. So,
I agree.
It's a bad look.
Crazy.
The guy's a real piece of shit. We've established this, that Colangelo is just not a good guy, and so the Sixers are better off just getting rid of him now. It was a smart move.
Yeah, I think they're in better shape without him. The Sixers are primed now to have one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. There's some great personalities. They'll make some tweaks this year. They'll be a team that can potentially be a finals team next year as well. So, you get this stink out with Colangelo, and hopefully, nothing, lingers with them. You just proceed as business. They have a team that can be a finals contender next year. You got to forget about that.
Oh, absolutely. You just got to make sure that they get a good guy to be the next GM. They're using the coach as a temporary interim GM, but it's a period of uncertainty while they get the next GM. And I think if they can get someone competent, they'll be all right.
Hey, man, that's a great job to get. They'll get somebody.
Yeah, that's a hot job. I think someone will come in. I am not nearly as well versed in NBA front offices to really have a feeling for that.
Me neither.
Yeah, we'll see. So I guess that's it tonight. Quote unquote. Man, we were on for 2 hours tonight. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was great.
Good stuff.
It was thank God, because after that Yankee game, usually I would just sit there and stew. To be able to talk to you about other shit and get my mind off it definitely helped.
Good stuff. Glad to be a fellow, man. It was a fun show. We send our best to Fiddle.
Yeah, sorry for my eruptions during the game.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No worries. I know that's usually what all of us really do. Some more than others, I guess, but most people do. So it's all right. No worries. Yeah, sorry that Fiddle couldn't make it. I feel bad for him because his kid just would not go to bed.
Well, I guess you have to do this again then with him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe not in too long from now, too. Maybe at the most a month from now. Because we have the mid-season report, aka All-Star.
Yeah, we do the mid-season.
Yeah, all right. So that's coming up. It should be good. I'm going to be interested to see where he is with the bullpenning at that point, because and he loves it. And that's going to be a good discussion because I think we both made some good points about it tonight. Like, I don't think we're against it necessarily, but we just don't think it's sustainable. That's the ultimate thing.
Yeah, I think you can do it to, a certain extent. Like I said, you can build a deep bullpen with maybe 3 or 4 reliable guys you can use, but you don't have to use one every different inning. You get started, I can give you five innings of keeping in the game, and then you go to your killer bullpen or whatever you need to do, something like that. I don't like throwing one guy every inning because, like I said, I think it's very difficult to have you go 8 for 8 or have every guy be good. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I got you on that. So
we'll discuss it.
Yeah, we will. Definitely. That's been a blast, man. Have a good evening. I'll chat with you again.
Thanks, Dave. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
Bye.
That's Gerry Piscataway, and that's our program. For those of you on YouTube, we were signing off. Hope you enjoyed it.